I do not have the energy to type this out. Shuya Mino. I'm gonna give you a speedrun lesson on reheating nachos. It is relatively recent slang. It's been around for a good while, but it gained popularity and entered mainstream last year, I think. To reheat somebody's nachos means to do something that somebody else has already done, pretty much. Yeah. So like, usually it's actually implied that the second time, like the person copying the other person does it worse than the first person, but not necessarily. But yeah, it's often used, like, for example, if a celebrity singer releases a new album and it sounds a lot like an album that came out 10 years prior from another artist, like, oh, she's just reheating this singer's nachos. Or like, if somebody is thinking of doing it, you'd be like, oh, he wants her nachos. Like, he wants to do what she did so badly. Frog Detective. Maybe I should. I have it. I am the owner of the game. Okay, I need to... I'll see you in a minute. I'll see you in a minute. Did you get all that? I was communicating telepathically. Did it work? Or I was trying, I guess. I was trying to communicate telepathically. Did you get it? Did you get my message? Clock it, sis. That doesn't count, by the way. It doesn't count if I'm just reading what somebody says to me. Yahoo. Hello. I hope you've been well. It's been 3 days, I think. 3 days! Took us 3 days to make that potato salad, you stupid punk. 3 days! I don't think he said stupid punk. What did he say? Took us 3 days to make that potato salad, something, something. What is the full quote? What does that fish say to him? I hope you're happy. It took us 3 days to make that potato salad. Kind of low. Am I? Wait, hold on. I might know why. No, I don't know why. Okay, hold on. Let's explore sound settings. This happens sometimes. Am I really low? All my volume settings are exactly the way they're supposed to be. Music is too loud. No, it's not. It's the same as always. I think my volume is low. Hold on. Let's explore. Nope. Okay, hold on. Better now, but I didn't touch anything. I didn't change anything. Okay, let's see. Whoa, okay, that's strange. That's suspicious. That's weird. Let's, okay, hold on. I don't know where to go next, if that's not it. The music is the exact volume it always is, and I can see just by the volume levels on my screen that my mic is low, but I don't know why. Why? Why is it low? What happened? Wait, I know exactly what happened. Or maybe I don't know exactly what happened. I do not know exactly what happened. Okay, let's see. I want to figure out what's caused this. It's all the same as usual. Aw, man, I guess we have to use my cool microphone. Huh? Guess I've got no other choice. Okay, hold on. I'm not gonna switch mics, but I am going to explore what's going on with this. Test. Whoa. Is it still? It's still low, isn't it? But the BGM is the same as always. It's always at -31. I don't know what's changed. I could not tell you. How did I... Okay, hold on. Let me explore this a little further. How about this? No, that's the same. What happened? Oh, I know what happened. Oh, okay, hold on. Give me a minute. Okay, wait. Is this better or no? Did I fix it or is it the same? Oh, now I don't know. Now I'm second guessing myself. I'm not sure. Is this better? Can you hear me? Are we back? Did I win? Def louder. Oh, but is it better? No, it sounds wrong. Something's wrong. Okay, hold on. I don't know what's going on here. We might be cooked. We might be cooked. I've never experienced this before. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna experiment a little bit more. Okay, that did not help either. Why is it like this? Did I flip a knob or something without realizing? I guess I can do this, but that's not how it normally works. This is extreme. I don't know. I'm not a fan of this, but this should work, I guess. I don't like that it's not the same as usual is my problem. Every setting and every piece of equipment, every knob, every lever is exactly the way it always is, but it's producing a different result than usual. And I don't know why. I don't know what happened. I don't even know. It's like, speaking of support or like support in general, I don't know what question to ask. Everything is exactly the same. I guess this should work for now. Oopsie. We ball. I guess. Why am I cursed? I don't know. I've been going through a lot lately. Unplug and re-plug the GoXLR. Ooh, I didn't try that. Okay, hold on. Well, let's experiment with that because I unplugged the microphone itself, but I did not do anything with the GoXLR. Let's give it a try. Do you believe in magic? I believe. I believe in miracles. I believe the morning sun. Ooh, ooh. Okay, let me do this and turn it off so you don't hear any scary noises. Test, 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 test. Wait, I think that worked. I think he saved us. Oh my God. I never considered the most basic thing ever. Unplug it and plug it back in. Pop out the cartridge, blow into it, and then put it back in. That always works. I don't know why I forgot that. That's such an obvious approach. Thank you. You've saved my life. And perhaps my career. Thank you. Shouts out Yaminer. It really does always work. It never fails. And when it does, you're just kind of cooked, right? that's when you have to give up. I can't believe I didn't try that. I've never had to before, though. I've never had issues like that. So strange. But I will say an explanation for it is that I've been changing microphones frequently recently. I've been switching back and forth for different things. Because this is the microphone that I use for streams and stuff, but now I have a separate microphone that I'm using to record and like do music stuff. So I had to switch a bunch lately. So that could have something to do with it. Maybe it messed something up. Maybe I need to reinitialize it after doing it. I don't know. But that worked. Anyway, let's pretend that didn't happen. How are you doing? What is good in your world? Catch me up to speed. What have I missed? It's been 2 days since we've spoken. I've been so busy. I need to know what is going on. What's going on in the world? Finals? Ah, yeah. I imagine this is a pretty rough time of year for it, right? Yeah, best of luck with your studies if you're a student. Best of luck with finals. YouTube Wrapped. Oh yeah, I got mine. And I got called out during the most recent By the Beat meeting. Because, you know, we meet regularly. And right there in front of everybody, including our manager, right there in front of everybody, Sable's like, Kaelix, how did you do this? Why are you there? Why is my name there? Sable had to call me out in front of everybody. It was so cute though, and it was really funny. He was genuinely dumbfounded by how high ranked the percentage was. I guess I don't know. I guess he knew that I watched, but I don't know if he knew I watched that much. But I didn't watch all of his streams. I only watched like the total number that I had for all of his videos was only like half of the things he's uploaded to his channel. So I'm a fake fan, actually. Yeah, I gotta get that membership, but I need to make another account if I want to do that, and that's way too much work. I don't know if I can handle it. Yeah, I got my YouTube Wrap. Do you want to know what the rest of it is? All right, here. I'll give you my top 5, but out of order. I will not tell you the order. I will keep the order my sexy, mysterious secret. Except one of them you know, because it only gives you the ranked percentage of your number 1. So, Sable was my most watched channel this year, which means I'm a fake Wilsoneer, unfortunately. I'm not just a fake Seignon, but I'm also a fake Wilsoneer. All right, so my YouTube Wrapped in no particular order is Friador, NIJISANJI EN. Zeogin Joka, NIJISANJI EN. Banta Crowbringer, NIJISANJI EN. And UQ Wilson, NIJISANJI EN. Surprising nobody. I will say though, I think for livers, I don't know if it's the same for everybody else as it is for me. I do feel like my personal Wrapped this year is very heavily influenced by people that I redirect into. So the people that are going to show up are going to be people that have a time slot on average that is slightly later than mine. Because these are the people that I'll redirect into, which means that after I redirect, I'll just keep their stream running in the background while I do the rest of my stuff. Like when I lock in after a stream's over. And a lot of the time, that's By the Beat, UQ Wilson, and Banta Crowbringer. With some exceptions, of course. Sometimes I just pull up a stream to watch it. Not as often as I used to, though. I kind of miss watching streams, just like a normal person. I just don't have the time or the energy. Though I guess stream watching has always been a very low energy thing for me. That's why it always appealed to me. How do you check that? So there are a couple ways. On mobile, if you go to the rightmost tab, the one where it's like your channel on the bottom right corner, there should be a bubble at the top that's like, your 2025 Wrapped is ready. You can watch it. Otherwise, you can... Oh yeah, I gotta unpin that. Otherwise, you can... I think there's a website you can go to. I think it's like youtube.com/recap or something. But also, there are some people that don't have it. It's not available everywhere. And even within a country that has it or a region that has it, it's not available for everyone, I think. Because in general, YouTube rolls these things out person by person rather than all at once. That's just kind of the approach they take for most things. So you may need a little time till you can see it. Yeah, okay. How many of my videos did you watch? Did you get your data on watching me? How many of my streams or videos have you watched? Subnote, I have 193 on my channel total. So if the number is higher than 193, something is very wrong. Oh my gosh. What? What are you even watching? What have I done that has replay value is what I wonder. I wonder how they count it. 58. Okay, now that I can get behind. I can get behind like 58. If it's higher than like 300, I'm getting a little nervous. Higher than 600, I'm nervous. Oh, was it Vcraft? Is that what did it? Was it Vcraft? Okay, I kind of get that. God forbid I have regulars, but no, see, this is super regular, right? Because a regular, it would say 193, because that's how many videos I have on my channel, including like stream VODs, right? However, we're getting some pretty scary high numbers. Day 0. No, it doesn't count. I didn't bring it up on my own. I have to bring it up on my own. It's not the same. It's not the same. I'm just having a healthy conversation. If I am just reading or responding to the things that you say to me, it doesn't count as a Vcraft mention because I didn't do it because I didn't do it spontaneously. I didn't do it on purpose. It's not my fault. You can't blame this on me. It doesn't count. It doesn't count. If anything, it means that you're the one at fault, okay? You're the one who's still in the restaurant. I'm walking out on the sidewalk, and you're just kind of calling my name. You're like, Kaelix, come in here. Come back to the restaurant. From inside the window. I see you on the other side, fogging up the glass like, hey, come back. It doesn't count. And now people will see the counter go back to 0, and they'll be like, oh, he's still in the restaurant. Meanwhile, I didn't do anything. It doesn't count. Oh my god. I can ignore. That's so rude though. How am I supposed I'm about to start foaming at the mouth. It's not even me. It's not even my fault. What did I do? Oh my goodness. Okay. Woo! Sorry about that. I got a little excited is all. Sometimes I get a little crazy. I'm thinking about the Kazoo kid, but like the opposite. You remember the Kazoo kid? Where he's like, sometimes I get quiet. All right, what do we want to do today? I want to do something today. Oh my gosh, are you bribing the tracker for Vcraft? You know, at this point, I'm just going to make it a point to say it every single day, so it's always 0. You know what? If that's what you want... if that's what you want, I'll just talk about it all the time. In fact, today we'll be talking about Vcraft. Today, the theme of the stream is Vcraft. We will not be doing anything else. We'll be talking about Vcraft Enchanted today. That is what we'll be doing. We didn't have a plan, but now we do. Today we're going to... You know what? Hold on. I have to check something and then we can do it. I know what we're gonna do today. Ferb, I know what we're doing today. I know what we're doing today. Okay, hold on. I gotta double check and make sure it's good to go. All right, we could do one of a few things, actually. I have a few ideas. Okay, rights are confirmed. All right. Option 1. We doodle various VCraft related things. Option 2. We recreate Calvin's ruins in Tiny Glade, which I still have not played. I want to try it really bad. Number 3. Maybe I could do something in Minecraft. I don't know. All right, I'm going to give you a voice, but I might not do what you say. Give me a second. Okay. Again. I'm curious as to what you think, but I might not do what you say. Oh, you want Tiny Glade, huh? Yeah, you want Tiny Glade? You want Tiny Glade? Is that what you want? You sicko? You sick monster? You nasty monster? You want Tiny Glade, huh? Is that what you want? Is that what you're into? Tiny Glade? You sicko? Yeah, okay. All right. Let's see. We can play Tiny Glade. I've been wanting to try it for a long time. I actually almost scheduled it for today, but then I didn't actually finish making my schedule, and it was too late. Yeah, here's some secret Kaelix Whisperer lore. If you ever want to intuit my active lifestyle without hearing about it from me, if we get to like Tuesday or Wednesday and there's no schedule yet, Kaelix is getting cooked. All right, that's what you need to know. If we get to Tuesday or Wednesday and there's no weekly schedule published for that week, I'm going through it. And I don't mean I'm like sad or miserable. I mean like I'm locked in. Okay, play Tiny Glade. You're gonna need to give me a second to set it up. Oh wow, jump scare. Oh wait, I need to change the sound settings. I'm hearing BGM. Ah! Okay. There we go. I am no longer hearing BGM. Let me figure this out. Can I play it windowed? Yes. I love games that let me play them windowed. I love you, windowed gaming. You're so single monitor friendly. I feel so loved. All right. Almost there. Tiny Glade. Awesome. Okay, and then almost done, almost done. All right. Whoa. Where am I? They have placed me into this world. Change the title of the stream later. You know what? I could do it right now. Something. Tiny Glade. Tree emoji. Awesome. Okay, hold on. Calm down. Let's all calm down. Let's all calm down. I need to do something to the game volume so that it is not blasting my ear, but you can have the volume you want. Like this. All right. How is this game volume? Is this reasonable? Is it too quiet? Is it too loud? It's good. But is it great? Is it crispy? It's good? Okay. Oh, a little higher. Maybe a tiny bit higher. You get 2% more. It's great? Okay, wonderful. Beautiful. Now that's what I want to hear. I want to hear that it's great. Now, what is... Oh, wow. Oh, I'm moving. Okay, so I guess you rotate with right, and you move with middle. Whoa. Sorry, that probably activates motion sickness. Sorry about that. I got a little excited. When I encounter something with really smooth camera controls, I just want to spin around really fast. I like it, personally. But I've learned that not everybody likes that, so I try to be careful about it. Oopsie. Okay, give me a second. Okay. I think we're balling. Awesome. Did I miss anything? Is everything good? Is everything working fine? Oh, I can also move with my WASD. That's good too. But should I have to? All right. So I have a little realm, it appears. Yeah, the sunset colors are really nice. I have a little realm. I've not played this at all. I think I opened it once just to make sure it would run okay, but I don't know. I don't know how things work. Oh. Oh. Oh, so just see. I can make little fences. Wait. How does it know to make a gate? Because I noticed that it makes gates. Does it make gates only where there's patches of dirt? That's kind of inconvenient. Oh, wait. Hold on. Oh, that's super convenient. Okay, never mind. Scratch everything I said about that. Okay, we need a clean slate. Is this how it works? I need it all gone. Take it away. Okay. So what we're gonna do today is we're going to we're going to talk about VCraft and we're gonna recreate the ruins. Wait, can I delete trees? Yeah, I need as much room as I can get. I want a clean slate. Oh, this makes me want to play like, you know, like the city simulator games or like Sim City. I love that. I haven't played one of those in a long time. Can I make the brush bigger? Oh, that's convenient. I love this. I love the physics too. It's so satisfying to look at. And I'm noticing that time passes as well. Yeah, zooming out like this makes me miss Sim City. I was obsessed with one of the Sim City games when I was a kid. It was one of my first major computer game fixations when I first got my first computer. Okay. Now let's consider the landscape outside of the bounds because it doesn't look like I can go any further than this white border square. If this were Calvin's ruins, Where could I imagine that the river is? Because there's a river in one direction and the hill continues behind. So that could be where the hill continues behind. We could do diagonal. We could say that the river is this way. That'd be fun. Doing it from memory? Yep. I'm not pulling up any reference photos. It might not be exact. Something I wanted to do for a while, though. It'll be our test run. We may do a couple attempts. Can I make hills? I noticed that these are just like paths, right? Yeah, no, that's not what I'm looking for. Okay, hold on. There's so much I still don't understand. Does this make it brighter? Okay, we need some daylight. Beautiful. Okay, sugoi. Oh, but it only goes up to one level. That's a little bit of a limitation, but I think I can work with it. Or maybe there's something... Oh! Oh, I can make it a smooth hill. They can go higher. Pull up. Oh, King of the Rock. Okay. Whoa. Okay, that changes a lot. Oh, I can do X to redo. That's good to know. Okay. Now I have to consider scale as well before I start terraforming. How big can I make these? It's just got like a straight tower. I could just make a tower like that. That's easy. How big are these? How big should they be? Whoa. Whoa. It's like a water tower. Now this makes me imagine like a different flavor of Baba Yaga, who I'm obsessed with, actually. I love Baba Yaga. I think she's really cool. Imagine Baba Yaga, but her house walks on these really long stone stacks. Decorating the teapot in Genshin. Oh my god, I was a fiend for that feature. I spent so much time. Ah, okay. Reasonable. That's a reasonable height. Can I make it higher? Seems like I can make it higher like this, but not like this. Like I can't make it just more tiers higher. But I wonder... Alright, I'm going to experiment a little bit. How... So there's no limit to like clipping. So I wonder if I could give the illusion of a taller tower by doing like this. Oh, but the roof gets in the way. No, it doesn't. Okay, so I could make the tower pretty much as high as I want by just combining different ones and then doing like this. They're not perfectly aligned though. Can I move that? Oh, it automatically does it. Beautiful. I'm learning. Okay. That being said, I want to consider the number of floors he had. How do I do this? Okay. Now Calvin, his tower was 3 floors up and then 1 basement with a mine shaft. It was a prefabricated home that I modified. I wonder if I could make holes in the wall. Because the second floor of his house has a hole in it. But yeah, that would mean that it's like pretty much like this is how it would look. So we got to consider that as our scale. No, wait, I think I did a door like this before. A little big. Maybe we can do a smaller one. Oh, it's got a little broomstick. It knows. It knows who I am. Oh, hello, Minterva. At the scene of the crime, as always. Likely place for you to be. I decided if they're gonna track every time I mention VCraft and then make me mention VCraft, just because I like having a healthy conversation where both of us communicate, I decided I might as well embrace it and just talk about VCraft. Looks like they got 2 different types of windows and then loopholes. Or not loopholes. What's the original? I learned some etymology for this, actually. The word loophole actually comes from what this thing is. What is this called? Originally? There's some linguistic lore for this. There's some linguistic lore for what this is. I can't remember what it's called. But this, basically, the origin for the word loophole. A loop. Is that what this is called? That tracks. Okay, so the origin for the word loophole actually comes from these. They're called loops, and they are holes in a wall. And the purpose of these is actually specifically for archers. It's specifically for people that are defending like a palace or a tower or a citadel or whatever. From the inside, they would shoot arrows. And it was seen as such an unfair tactic because they were able to shoot arrows through, but nobody could really do anything to go back to them. And it was seen as unfair. And so now, as a linguistic development since the use of loops, a loophole is something that is seen as kind of like a sneaky way to work around the rules. Yeah. Is it this one? Okay. Now I'm wondering, is there a way to make the door different? Can I do like a different path to get a different door? No, it looks like the door is always the same. I would like it if the door was as small as possible, because here's the thing. I want the tower to be this big because this is how many floors his tower had. Oh, I can color it? Okay, that helps. Oh, the windows can turn into doors. Oh, this is not a window. This is a loop. Oh! Okay, now we're talking. I might as well give it a square door, right? Because Minecraft. Oh, and I can change the... Oh, that's cute! It's like he's right here. Can I rotate that, though? I can! It looks like. Can I? Yes! Oh, yes! Sugoi! Awesome! I know who else needs to play this game. Oh, I loved having this level of control. This is beautiful. I'm so happy. So I could like pop it up like this if I wanted to. Okay, we're learning the mechanics. Tower is still a little small though, so maybe I could... No, I think I wanted to have that general structure. Now, if I raise the ground under it, will it raise the tower too? I could get around not building it again and just keep what we have. Okay. We need to consider the rest of the ruins as well. Tower is the easy part. The hard part is going to be recreating the ruins from memory. It looks like I can raise things up, but I cannot lower things to the deeper. I cannot sink it. Though there is this, it seems. And that's kind of like sinking it. So maybe there's a way to combine this with something? Or no? Ooh, actually, hold on. I kind of like that. No, it's still clearly water. Maybe not. We could use that somewhere in the ruins, though. This will be an approximate recreation of By the Beata. So yeah, I guess the best way to do the center, like where the shrine was, the waystone, would be to do like a... Kind of like what we're doing on Animal Crossing, if you've been watching that. We can just raise the entire thing so that this sunken area is different. You see what I mean? Like that, kind of. Just a rough version. Ah! Excuse me. Oh my gosh. Jump scare. And we could do like... And I guess one way to... Ooh, if you do path on an incline, it makes stones like this. So we could hypothetically, if we do it right, we could make a sunken area that looks a lot like the place in the middle. Now, I don't know how to get a decoration in the middle that looks like the waystone. I could do a number of things, though. Maybe I could use a tower, actually, and just make it really small. And I learned earlier that I can take this off. I can make it like this. And I haven't played with coloring at all yet. Ooh. That's one way to do it. Not quite right, though. I don't feel. It seems like there are other buildings, though. I could do like a square instead. Seems like. That's very Minecraft. That's basically a waystone right there. Intimately familiar with these because mine was stolen from me, as you may recall. It was stolen away because people thought it was NPC. I'm just too immersive. Kaelix's immersion game is just too high in Minecraft RP. Everybody thought his waystone was generated by the world. Oh, you can see there's like the paint is peeling. Still talking about waystone theft? They robbed me. They stole from me. Rooting through my rutabaga, raiding my arugula. Ripping up the rampion, my champion, my favorite. Do you know the things they did to me? I'll never know who it was. I hope I never find out. Because then I'll be really funny and annoying about it, and it might not be funny to everybody. But it'd be funny to me. Alright, let's start raising this area a little bit, I guess. And I think we'll start with this. And do it as its own little thing that is raised about this high. And then the rest of it, we'll raise it as a separate... Oh, there's a limit to how much I can do in one anyway. Yeah, this will be the highest point in the ruins. So I have to be very considerate of it. And I think this one is best to do kind of like a hill. Oh, but I gotta be careful because it will just become a cliff on this. I was thinking it would round out anyway. We have to do that again. We have to make sure that it doesn't touch the edge because no sharp angles in nature. That is not attractive or natural. So instead we'll raise it kind of like this instead. Music's really cute, by the way. And I love how intuitive the design is. Like I said, I'd never played this game before today, but I'm grasping the mechanics really quickly without a tutorial. Okay, we could do like this. And just raise it however high. It'll be the highest point. Okay, maybe not like this. Maybe I need to do it in tiers, actually. Yeah, that's still a little too much. But I'll get it right this time. Okay, so we'll actually need to cut it off like... I think we'll do it in a kind of U shape. Like an inverted U, like this. And that way... I can build into it with another one. You see what I mean? Yeah, this is the highest point, so I want to figure it out first. Oh, but I might have made it too close to the wall. Honestly, that might be high enough. Even if it's the highest point. Maybe a little higher. And I guess I could surround this with trees. How can I plant the trees? Is there a limitation on that? Can I put it... Oh, so I can kind of hide the fact that it's a sharp angle, too. Using the trees. Just plant trees along it. They'll never know. I don't know who they are, but... they'll never know. How would they know? They're not gonna know. I've had to sneeze again for the last, like, since it happened the first 2 times, and now I need to do it again, but it won't come out. I need your help. Debonair's look alike. Like the mini game from Tomodachi Life. I'm so excited for Tomodachi Life on the Switch. I'm so excited for that game. I think it's gonna be so awesome. Okay, so I guess we can raise again. Like this. And we'll just generally cover the area. Cover the vicinity a little bit. Thank you for the feather. And then I can smooth that out just a little bit. Yeah, we'll do it in layers. We'll do it in layers. Layers is what we'll do. And then I figure with that scale, the waystone should actually be around here or maybe more like here, right? I think that'd be about right. Approximate scale, of course. That's what we'll do. I think I need to line it up a little bit better, though. Awesome. I'll do a separate layer around it to connect it. Now. Question is, how smooth do I want that to be? Ooh, oh yeah, I wanted to play with this. I wanted to play with however this works. I need to see how this converts into stairs on the side. Okay, and then we'll go back here. So when it's really rigid, it becomes way more stair-like. I kind of want an in-between. It was meant to look like weathered and reclaimed by nature when I terraformed it in the first place in Minecraft. God, this makes me miss Minecraft so much, though. I'm never leaving the restaurant. I'm sorry. Maybe I could do... Is that better or worse? That did kind of round that out a little bit. Yeah, I don't want it to be perfect. All not leaving. Well, at least we're dining together. I'm gonna have a sip of my tea. If you got a beverage on hand, you should have a sip too, all right? Let's get hydrated. Oh, it's the perfect warm temperature right now. I'm gonna have another really big sip, okay? Not even a sip at this point. I'm gulping it. Ah, it's so good. Okay. Let's see. We've got our terraforming. Kind of. I still need to fill in the blanks. So we need to start by smoothing out this area here so that I can connect his tower to the central area. I can do it out this way as well a little bit. Do it out this way. Doesn't need to be flawless. Just generally smooth it out. Lower this a little bit. Lower this a little bit. Oh no, I can't because then I'll lose the stairs. So here's what I'll do. I will raise everything else. That should help. You see the vision? Yeah, make it exist first, make it better later. Okay. I could probably clean this up a little bit too. Ooh, that kind of helps actually with the stair like feel. If I clean up the stones a little bit here and there. Makes it feel a lot older. Awesome. The creeper holes. We're going to pretend that creepers don't exist in this world. This is tiny Glade and it's populated only by small sheep with umbrellas. That's my daughter. Her name is... Oh, I can pet her. Her name is Barbara. Why won't you look at me? She always turns away. She's shy. All right. Just notice I have flowers too. Oh, it's also like a terrain thing. Can I change the flowers? No. That'd be pretty cool. Alternate universe where the whole ruins are claimed by the Fae or something. All right. Let's continue terraforming. We could actually include the court. We could include the courtroom a little bit. Just kind of include a rough. Okay, hold on. I think I know how I want to do this instead. I kind of want to make a crevice there already. And then lower this a little bit. But make it super steep. And then for this, I guess we could do like, because it was round, right? For the court we could do, oh, whoops. I messed something up. Oh, there we go. Oh, I pressed the undo button at the top when I was trying to terraform it. I see what was happening. Or not terraform, but restructure, I guess. I could do kind of like this. Though you don't get any impression of there being a hole down here. I guess I could do that. Though it's not broken. It needs to be broken. So I think a better way to do that, and this is something I need to learn anyway, to do the rest, is this feature which I saw, which is just like walls without roofs. And then I can make some taller than the rest. Make them generally inconsistent. Maybe connect a couple so that I can make a door. Yeah, I think I'll do that. I think I'll do like... like this, maybe? And then I could fill this with water to give the impression of it being a deep hole. We'll say that the court was flooded by a lot of rain. Every time he cast his harost, rain would fall. And gradually it filled up the court. And it became like a well. Oh my god, I almost relapsed into his speech pattern. I almost said, it became as a well, is what I almost just said. This is dangerous. This is a dangerous thing for me to be doing right now. Alright. Fill this in a little bit more. Have the whole area generally raised. I think I'm gonna do... let's see. I kind of want to raise... or no, maybe I could do instead. I could make a second one underneath it. And raise it just a little bit higher. I kind of want the prominent locations to stand out a little bit. So it's my line of thinking. Oh my gosh. I just wish that I could make the trees yellow. That's the one problem. We'll say that we're visiting his abode, his ruins in another season. Maybe the trees blossom seasonally. We just happen to catch them in the right season. Even though, as far as in-game time went, it was a very long span of time. It was more than just 2 weeks. Can't stop saying my word. It's addicting. I know. I still do that one. For me, I think the biggest one, though, is that I always catch myself almost saying as instead of like. Because like and as have always been kind of synonymous, but in modern speech, we've kind of defaulted to using like more than as. But in a lot of contexts, you'd say like, oh, she was as a blank. Or it was as a blank. These days, if you want to say something like that, you have to say it was as if she were a blank. Is how you say that now, right? Change the seasons. Can you do that? I can change the time of day. How do you do that? Is there a... whoa. There's a camera mode. Oh, it's over. And I can fine tune the blur and like the reticle and the and the two zoom modes are separate from each other. Oh, have an autumn glade, which makes all the trees orange and yellow. How do I do that? Is that something I have to unlock? I don't see a... Oh, I found it. Okay, now we're talking a little bit. I kind of want to see the other ones, though. What's Olden? Oh, I like Olden. This is ruined. Like, this is ruins. This is ruins energy. Oh, I like this one. Ooh, or we could do seasonal. We could make him, like, Christmas special edition. I actually really like that. What does that do to... Oh, and it makes the pond dry up. So it makes it more, like, tomb-like. Like the court was supposed to be. And the leaves are warm. I think we might do Christmas edition. We can change it later if we need to. Get a few different flavors. Okay. Christmas mode. I'm still clinging to autumn though, personally. I can't admit that it's winter until I finish fall in Stardew Valley, which, by the way, we're playing on Saturday. That's when we're going to do it. That's why we didn't do Stardew today. I know there was I know you really wanted Stardew today, but I just knew it would be Saturday instead. I just need to make my schedule visual. Is what I got to do. I've been a very busy Kaelix recently. But I'll finally have something to show for it pretty soon. That's exciting. I feel like the one of the more frustrating parts of being busy for me is that I work really slow and I work in a way that is best kept mysterious and unseen. So a lot of the time I wonder if you believe that I'm working when I say I am. I've wondered if it's like ridiculous how long it takes me to do certain things. Maybe there's a better decoration for this. Ooh, I want to play with the chimney. Oh, I bet the chimney has to be on a building. Well, his tower did actually have a fireplace and a chimney. Be about like this. Yeah. Can I adjust this? Can I make it bigger? Ooh, you know what I bet I can do? I bet I can... Here's what I bet I can do. I bet I can make it look bigger like this. It's a big fireplace. Is Santa allowed to enter the chimney? If he can fit. I feel like Santa would have to be pretty tiny. So I guess some of the mythos for Santa is that he can shrink, right? It's one of his superpowers. He can shrink to fit any flue. I think that's one of his superpowers. That guy's so cool. I've always wanted to meet Santa. And then we should figure out the color as well. We went with like a... Ooh! My brain is churning some ideas, actually. Because we determined earlier that I can actually, rather than just building one tower like this, I can build multiple towers that overlap with each other. And I can have more control that way, right? I'm trying to think of ways that I could build the hole that was blasted through his second floor wall. I'm trying to think of that. Let's experiment. So we're gonna need this to be like this. get rid of the roof on top. Now what I wonder is if I can build one of these on top of this. Can I do that? Or I guess around it would work. Can I... Okay, hold on. This is a little complicated. I'm gonna make it work though. Trust. Yeah, I'm thinking like a tall wall around it. That I raise like this. Wait, where's the rest of the wall? Where's the rest of you? Well, hold on. We can work with this. Okay, I'm getting stressed out. Okay, hold on. No stress, Kaelix. Calm down. Everything's cool. Grandma's gonna sue the pants off of Santa. I never watched that movie. I discovered that song recently. Somebody was talking about how their boyfriend convinced them that they imagined the grandma run over by a reindeer movie. Can I make this more round? Ooh, I can splice it a little bit here and there. Okay, wait. The vision is lacking because I don't actually know how I'm going to deal with what comes after this. This might not be the strat at all. Because how am I going to build the... Oh, no, I think I can figure that out. Yeah, I can kind of make that work. Right? And then I got the hole here. Okay, hold on. Let's see, maybe the vision's there. And then I can raise this. Yeah! Yeah! Okay. And then we bring our roof back. So that way we have... Ooh, gross. Wait, hold on. What's the deal with this? No, sir. Okay, we need to deal with this. There we go. Messing up our door. Now the pattern is inconsistent, but we can work with this. And then fill it out a little bit. And now we got a little hole in here. So you can see into a second floor like you're supposed to. And then I need... Can I make this chimney go higher? Yes. Yes! Yes! I might be cooking. Okay. I can do like this. Is there a way for me to just go through a catalog of all the different little furniture items? Because that'd be awesome. Now, how does this work? Oh, that would be so cute for like a little marketplace. Now I just want to use this game to make like areas from my personal short stories. I've written a few high fantasy stories that I'll probably never share with you, but now I just want to I want to build them in Tiny Glade. I wonder what the applications could be like for people making scenery for like Dungeons and Dragons as well. That'd be pretty cool. Having like a 3D scene for reference. Oh, we're so back. Okay. I wonder, can I get it? Can I get this up here? Yes, I can. We can decorate the inside. This is so excessive. Nobody's ever going to see inside the house, but because the inside is now visible, I've exposed it with a hole. I want to do it justice. Is there like a table and chairs in here? Fish. Oh, they're begging me to make a marketplace. Oh, we got candles. That's good. That's kind of Calvin core. Not exactly what he had in here. He had just a bunch of tables and chairs in here that were strewn about, abandoned by whoever lived in the tower before him, but I think any furniture with the feeling of like not being used in a long time, I think anything like that is okay. Ooh, and something I could do if I want to go extra hard. Wait, is there an item limit in this game? Is there a limit to how many items I can use? Because if there is, I might want to be a little careful about this. Because I know in a lot of decorative games, you have a limit to what you can add. There's no limit. The limit does not exist. I guess the only limit in that case would be the border. Yeah, if I wanted to go crazy detailed, I could add a ladder on both sides. Make it look kind of like... Oh, will you rotate the right way? Make it look kind of like it's going upstairs. I don't know if I can make that look right. Okay, here's what I'll have to do. I'll have to move this here. Oh, I'm in such a decorative mood now. Now I want to play like every decorative game ever. One day, you and me, we should just have a decoration day and just pull up a bunch of home decoration games just in a row. There's no item or light limit, and the building limit is really high. I see. So I'd have to be like really crazy to reach a limit. Now I want to make it a goal to push that. I want to see how far I can take that. That makes me want to make like just a towering network of buildings that overlap with each other and form like an indoor maze. That's what I want to do now. I want to see how high that limit is. I'll go. That is something a lot of people have wanted to see because it's like a good study game. I don't know if I'd use it for study personally though, because for me, it would just be a distraction. I wouldn't be able to focus having it there. I'm a bit of the opposite that from the intended user, but it would be fun to decorate it. I would love to like make a little room, and then maybe you could use it. Now I can throw in all the chairs. This guy had so many chairs in his second floor room. Now all they need to do is add like a shattered glass furniture item. That'd be so awesome. So then I could just scatter shattered glass across the floor. And then I guess a sunflower indoors can be a sign of life. Like recent life. We'll put it right here. Awesome. Now, how much of that can you see? None. However, I know it's there, so. It matters to me. Now I want to see if I can get this cleaner. Yeah, I think if I continue the splitting strategy of just like building the wall and then cutting it in half like this, I can continue to gradually bring it together into a more refined piece. Like so. see the vision? The second floor looks so messed up compared to the rest of the castle. Maybe we can make up for that with decoration, though. Ooh, I could also afford to make this a more consistent height. Can I raise all of these walls up here? This kind of helps with the height problem we were having with the tower earlier anyway. Alright. Up you go. That's kind of his vibe. Kind of. Oh yeah, windows could help for sure. I want to play with this first, though. I want to see how much this helps. So he had a stone, just a basic stone brick tower, right? Oh, they're gonna make me do all of these. Can I like highlight them? Can I just do like all of them in a radius? Ah, I don't want to do it all individually. Ah, whiny baby, poo-poo diaper. And then I'm over it. I'm normal. And then I'm normal. Ooh, okay. Awesome. Okay, that looks better. I'm gonna have to do something about this, though. How close can I get this to the door before it breaks the door? That's the game. I think that's fine. Stop growing over the door! I need to walk through this! Stop growing over it! How do I... Stop! I've given up. This door's not getting opened. Oh, wait, I just remembered he has a balcony! Oh, how am I gonna do that? I don't know how to make that work. Okay, hold on. Oh, wait. What is this? Maybe I can make like a... Oh, I saw a video when they made this. See, this is what I was thinking in my head when I said I wanted to make a big towering colossus of interlocking buildings. I want to make this. I want to have like a big network of staircases and aisles and rows that interlock and overlap and look like this. I'll make it my ancient magical city. And I'll fill it up with towers and parapets and everything, and it'll be so beautiful and whimsical, but not today. For another day. But I think... Okay. And that was on the front, right? Yeah, it was definitely on the front, because I remember that's where I sat with Vox and, or rather that's where Calvin sat with Vitruvius and Aulira after the trial, before Vitruvius decided on a different kind of wickedness than Aulira was looking for. Because I don't know if you know this, I think Aulira mentioned publicly she was actually planning to be evil. But the kind of evil that Vitruvius went for was a bit too unreasonable. Oh, the path can clear up the leaves growing. Ooh, but can I do that without messing up the door? Good enough. Yeah, there was a moment where we sat here after I was scammed by the doctor, by Doctor. Before his house got crane lifted into the air. There was so much stupid stuff going on in that game. Oh, but this door has like a gate on it. Is there a way to not do that? Do I have to extend this more? Can I extend this without making the... I don't want the balcony. I don't want this. Can I... Yes, I can. I love freedom. This game gives me so much freedom. I love it. I'm so happy. Happy, happy, happy. Happy, 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 happy. Now, hold on. Now I want to play with that some more. Knowing that I'm free to do what I want with it. So I can bring them back if I decide I need them. But I don't. Because this is freaking Minecraft. Except it's not, because this is Mini Glade and not Minecraft. But to me, it's Minecraft. So. Oh, wait. I know what went wrong. In the first place, I was aiming it at the wrong spot, so I don't even need to clear away the... Yeah, I don't even need to clear it away. I was just aiming at the wrong spot. That's cute. Wait, I could put different stuff on this one too. Oh, whoops. Can I give him the little bell? Kind of cute. Or maybe the wreath is good for Christmas edition. Like it's still being lived in. Okay. Now, how do I want to wrap this is the question. We can say it got blown off alongside the wall. No, not that way. No, no, stop. Stop. No, it was perfect. Come on. It was kind of like just on the front anyway, wasn't it? So I guess to deal with that, what I can do is I can do a new stair. Like that. And extend it enough to make one of these. And then it would be on the other side, but it's broken. So how can I deal with that? I can still extend it. Just no. That's uggo. Not a fan. Here's what we'll do instead. We'll make a broken piece of it here. And then what we'll do is we'll make a new stair in the same place, but lower. On the lower level. And that way, it's kind of like you could see where it was broken, right? Just have to make it more symmetrical. Like lost symmetry rather than like a total lack thereof is the goal. And then this is still out a little too far, so. Happy, happy, happy. Happy, 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 happy. A little extreme, though. I don't think I like it. It kind of kills the tower feel. Can I... Here's what I want to do. Can I make it thinner near the bottom? Ooh, there's one way to do it. I could do like this. And then I could just build... I could just build a wall for it. When in doubt, just like build a... Like the building structure. Oh, okay, that's too big. We could build a literal... Just a wall by itself like this. And then adjust the structure a little bit. Holy moly. I'm so obsessed. This is so dangerous. We shouldn't have done this today. Now I'm not going to want to do anything else. That's a little bit better. Oh, and you know, one way to make it even better would be to raise this to the roof. What? You're gonna stop me right before the roof? Come on, man. All right, here's what we're gonna do. It turns into a ladder? Well, now I want to redecorate inside again. Didn't know that. That's awesome. Oh, wait. I grabbed the wrong one. I want... Can I detach this? Okay, hold on. I'll just make a new one. I know how I'm going to deal with this. I'm going to make a new stair. The stair meta will never fail me. Oh, it's failing me. The stair meta is failing me. Oh, I don't know where I am. Stop. No. No. Oh, stairs are kind of going sideways. Will you stop, please? No. Okay. No, not all better. Okay, all better. Not all better. That looks terrible. I'm just making another one. When in doubt, just make more stairs. And then I flare out. How do I flare out the roof? Do I have to do this? Oh, I can change the color. That's pretty cool. Can I change the way that the roof curves? Can I make it extend? Now I just want to make Baba Yaga's house. I just want to build for Baba Yaga. I just think she had the coolest house. I don't know how to deal with this. How do I... How do I make the roof bigger? Can I make the roof bigger? Please. I just want to make the roof go out. Ah! That's not what I wanted. Still kind of crazy. I don't want to think about his tower anymore. It's stressing me out really bad. Time for the ruins! Oh my gosh. Holy moly, I've just realized something. I said we were going to talk about VCraft, but I just got so engrossed in the mechanics of this game and I forgot to talk about VCraft. I was just so invested. All right. Ask me anything about VCraft. And only about VCraft. If you ask me about something unrelated to VCraft, you will be escorted out of the premises and you will not be allowed back inside. That's a joke. However, I will be only answering questions about VCraft. I'm gonna have a sip of tea. That's our bouncer. I know that's right. I know that's right. By the way, your name will be publicly displayed for asking a question. So you should only ask a question you're prepared to be publicly known for asking. Oh my gosh. All right. You! Lightning bolt, thunder strikes in the distance. Did I anticipate such a drastic change for Calvin after the fun of the first and second days? Absolutely not. I remember, you may remember too, when we were planning the character on what I called day 0, before we actually opened the server and started playing, when I was designing the character and planning his personality and stuff, you may remember that I said from the beginning that he was meant to be kind of like a clean slate, but that all the lore that I gave you was probably not going to be relevant to any of the other players. My expectation was that he would just be a silly guy and it would just be fun, silly times the whole time, because my expectation was that all the other players would be really fun and silly. But I deliberately made him as a clean slate because you may remember I was very unsure about what kind of direction the whole thing was going to take. I didn't know if everybody was going to be RP maxing or not. It just happened that Vox got to me and touched something in me, and also happened to have a character that was super compatible with the lore that I wrote, so I just could not resist the temptation to become Anakin Skywalker. So yeah, no, I absolutely did not anticipate it. It was not what I was expecting for the character at all. However, it was very fun and very, very rewarding. If Calvin had a middle name, what would it be? He would not, because those are not a thing in the world where he comes from. They just don't have those. And a lot of people don't even have family names if they're like low income in his world. That's something I decided. So he is just Calvin because Madeline is just Madeline because she came from a very low income family from a low income village, just in the outskirts of a place that was really, really struggling. So she didn't have a middle name or a last name, and so he didn't inherit one as her son. Yeah, neither of them had a middle or last name. Middle and last names are more typical of nobility where he comes from. So he just would not have one. Non-applicable is pretty funny though. Yeah, no, it would literally just be nothing. If he didn't live in the ruins, what other environment would he have lived in? You may remember there was a moment when Lament tried to bomb his tower. He loaded the place up with bombs, but forgot to figure out, like, I don't know if he failed to finish setting up the redstone or if it was just because... I remember the crazy scare of it was that it was set up so that when I opened the front door, the whole tower would explode. But that day in particular, I had very recently learned the glyph for flight. And I was practicing flying, and then I arrived on my balcony instead of the front door like I always did. I remember I opened that not the front door, I opened the balcony door where there was no mechanism to set off the explosions. And my heart sunk when I saw one single block of TNT. And then I started going down the ladder, and there was just more and more TNT filling up every room. Oh my god, it was so scary. That was probably the scariest moment in the entire campaign for me because it was a surprise to me. And honestly, we had an agreement in general among all the players that we would communicate with each other if we wanted to do griefing of any kind, if we wanted to destroy a player structure. Though I didn't communicate it to anybody, I personally was super okay with anything I built being destroyed for RP purposes. If it made an interesting story or like a funny or cool moment, I would have been super cool with it. Because the server's not going to last forever anyway, right? It would be one thing if we were still playing on that server today, but it's 2 weeks, so I have to say goodbye to it at the end anyway. But yeah, I was so shocked. I was so like the feeling in my gut when I stepped in and didn't know what happened there or who put it there, because nobody ever came to my side of the server in general. If people came to the tower, it was because they were invited, right? Because it was just so removed from the town. People had to seek it out. And when they did, it wouldn't be often that they went inside, right? Unless they thought it was an NPC-generated structure, like a default building. But yeah, no, that was... Oh my god, that scared me. So yeah, anyway, you may remember that there was a moment where that happened, and I was like, we're not safe here. We can't stay in this tower. I need to find a new home. I was really tempted to put him in a very snowy environment, but I don't think he would last very long like that because he's very weak to the cold, was a canon that we came to eventually. We gradually introduced the canon that he's weak to the cold. He doesn't do very well with it. Mainly because he is an extension of me and I don't do very well with the cold. I do love winter though. And there is something I kind of like about the vision of him living in like a wintry cabin and clinging to a fireplace. And we're kind of getting that immersion right now, aren't we? In a way, making a winter version of his ruins. Yeah, there was I think there was another moment where we found Roswell's place that he was living in, because he had a moment where he was kind of like, he was exiled from the people. He couldn't be there anymore because he got caught by Vitruvius. And Vitruvius wasn't really villainized yet, so that made Roswell the enemy of the people in his eyes. And he had like an exiled moment in the like the winter snowy tundra area, which I only found out about properly when the whole thing was over. But that's where we ended up meeting, I think. He was like, I know a place. Yeah, there's something that kind of appeals to me as well of that vibe of just, you know, living in the wilderness surrounded by ice and snow. So I could see him in that setting. In general, I would not put him in anything that I built. And if I built it, I would introduce the understood and accepted canon that he still found it. Kind of like the court, where, you know, I built it completely from scratch in the game. I just dug it out from the ground and decorated it and everything. But the canon was that it was found that way. Because Calvin is not one to settle down. And I personally imagine for like post-game, I guess, if you want to call it that, like where does everybody go and what do they do after that? What happens? I don't think he'd be keeping up with these ruins anymore. I think eventually he would move on to some other ruins, looking for some other magic or some other trail. And he'd, you know, maybe he'd have viable cause to come back, people that brought him back if they were still there, but I feel like he would just find some other ruins in the world and just set up camp there for a while. Wish we could have used the court more. I don't. It was a very fun and really rewarding experience to see people in there getting immersed in a trial in a place that I made, and I loved it so much. But that trial was so stressful. I hope I never have to sit in a court trial ever again of any kind. I don't want to see this in Olden. Ah, so nice. Okay, let's go back to winter. That was a nightmare trial. It was a kangaroo court. So I personally do not hope we used it more. Though I do kind of wish it would have been used for something other than a trial. I kind of hoped it would set a scene for some like cool RP moments. And I did have a couple with Royale that were really nice. It was a scenic place. I just wish I would have gone back and fixed the area that was broken after the trial. There was a big chunk of stairs that we lost at the bottom at some point. I think somebody set a prank or a trap or something. And I never went back and fixed it because I was so locked in a roleplay. It's like every 2 seconds somebody would summon me somewhere. And that second half of the campaign, oh my god, it's like I could not go 2 seconds without being summoned for RP. I would spend so much time monologuing. Oh my gosh, I wanted to explore this again so bad, but I never got the right spot because there was so much going on. There was a moment earlier in the campaign where we had some early foundations for RP, but not a lot. We were in the Nether. There was a party of a bunch of us in the Nether. Notably, this was the moment when Vitruvius and Clifford Rolexus had one of their big spats. Where Clifford called Vitruvius an effervescent ninny. He was like, "You are the bloat atop the milk of life." That's one of my favorite quotes from the whole campaign, by the way. Bloat on top of the milk of life. Oh my god, that is so good. But there was a moment in that trip down into the Nether. We were walking one by one, single file, into a little corridor that the sheriff was building for us so that we could travel safely. And there was a moment where Vitruvius referred to Calvin in second person as homunculus, which as players wouldn't mean much because I publicly tweeted that he was a homunculus, right? But Vitruvius, Calvin had never told anybody about that yet. That was something he only opened up to people about in the last 2 days. And so it was kind of like a, what did you just call me? Moment. And we never explored it again. That's one of the things I really wanted to get into. My personal acceptance there, my personal canon in my mind, we never discussed it, but in my personal canon when I replay that in my head. It's that, you know, Vitruvius, he has some crazy powers. He has some abilities. Maybe he can divine, something like that. Maybe he can intuit things that other people cannot. And maybe he could say something like that without recognizing that this is like a sensitive spot for Calvin, right? Yeah, I'm curious about what exactly that would have looked like if we explored that properly. And there were a few conversations where I was like, okay, when there's dead air, I'm going to confront him about it. I need to confront him. But there would always be a new development. It'd be like, oh, Church of Chat was burnt down and we know who did it now. But we think that they were actually manipulated by this guy. And this guy is also responsible for the theft of memories, apparently. And like it's like every second I was going to confront him about calling me homunculus the one time. There'd be something new to keep up with. It was impossible, you know? I'm realizing that the scale is a little off, but it's too late for me to change it. Best I can do is just load it up with trees. I kind of want to expand the ruins, though. There was actually, if the campaign was 1 week longer, I was going to make another location to the left side, like in this general area. That's what I was going to do. I hadn't fully decided what it was going to be, but I was going to do something else underground, I think. Either that or a second tower. Maybe I could do that now. Expand it a little bit. Yeah, there really was never a dull moment in that campaign. It was so fun. It's the most I've roleplayed in my entire life, and in a lot of ways, it was my first time. Who do I wish I had spent more time with for roleplay or just in general? That is tough, because at the end of the day, everybody. It was difficult because having such a rich and serious approach to RP meant that I had to be a lot of places, and there were some conversations that I had to cut really short. And some conversations that I just totally missed out on. Just because I had to be somewhere else, doing something else. Monologuing and crying for a few hours. So I don't know if I could give one. That being said, I was kind of excited to do stuff with Alvin in particular in the People of Letters. I was excited to see that develop into... I had hoped that the People of Letters would actually be really shady. I was hoping it would be a shady secret organization. But they ended up just being a maid cafe, which is very funny and very good. And there's a timeline where Calvin's loyalty just remains 100% true to the People of Letters. But yeah. I thought that would have been really cool. And I do remember kind of wondering what I had missed out on there. I don't think I even fully saw the fully decorated and furnished People of Letters headquarters. I never saw the finished version of their base. Yeah, I'd say I would have wanted to do more with the People of Letters. Maid Calvin. He's not real. He was never real. He never will be real. No, cause I'm kind of seeing the vision. Now to really get this cooking though, what we're gonna need to do is we're gonna have to do some of these, and we'll use pathways to really get the vision across. I'll play with that a little bit more. Ooh, Vitruvius's letter to Calvin was so sweet. How would he respond or feel? I actually really wanted to do something, but I wasn't sure how to do it in a way that I would also have the energy to give to everybody, right? And I just never ended up remembering by the time it was still like a good time to respond to his letter. But I did see his letter that he wrote, and I thought it was really, really sweet. Calvin would have had a lot to say to that. Something that stuck with me was one of the earlier parts of the letter about how Vitruvius II and Calvin are actually very close in age, but you may get a very different impression. because their dynamic is very much like father and son in a lot of ways. And while this may be strange to others or even to Vitruvius, to Calvin, this is a very, very normal thing because his mother was Madeline. And you may know that Madeline froze herself as far as her appearance goes. She entered a visual stasis. And she was impossibly old, but, you know, she looked no older than, say, like 16, 17, 18. So to Calvin, appearances and position have very little to do with each other. And to him, Vitruvius is very much like a father, even if they are very, very close in age. So that may be something to, like, I don't know, in a scenario where they respond, that may be something he mentions. Aside from that, there was a lot of sentimentality there about the time that they shared and about like the home that each of them had found in each other. And that is something that I feel like he'd affirm. It's interesting because with Malum, I guess V Malum as he calls him, there was a back and forth of written words. But I think to Vitruvius's letter, Calvin would insist on speaking with him in person. I think they were the kind of people that exchanged words for most things. Yeah. So I feel like he would seek him out to say these things directly. Do you see the vision? Am I cooking? Am I cooking with this? Haha. And I'll change the height of some of these, make it look like a ruined building. But yeah, I think in the context of VCraft, and maybe like a version of the game that continues, a version of the world that continues, I do think he would seek out Vitruvius and engineer a conversation with him. Yeah. I think they'd talk a bit about the future and about what he plans to do, and like I think he'd come to a more definitive decision about where he wants to go next. Because at this point, he's still kind of directionless. By the end, it's a bit of a bittersweet end for Calvin in the context of VCraft. He's gotten his vengeance, but he doesn't feel good about the fact that he's gotten vengeance. He still hasn't found his mother. He's surrounded by people that care about him and that he cares about, but they're never going to be a replacement for his mother. So it's a very complicated position for him. And it's not entirely clear where he's going to go or what he's going to do. He doesn't know. At least not yet. Yeah. And I think Vitruvius in general was a very good like guiding force for Calvin. And I think he could offer some direction and perspective that he's really in need of around the end. I'm kind of obsessed with these, by the way. Full disclosure, I'm obsessed with just putting walls everywhere now. And that's what we're gonna do to make this place feel like the ruins. But yeah, Vitruvius very much was like a father figure to him, even if that would have been something very unusual for people their age. Let's see. Even if Vitruvius II didn't get close to Calvin, would he still be evil to gain enough power? Honestly, Vitruvius was kind of a demonstration of what Calvin was willing to do. Calvin was actively doing things that he knew were wrong when he was working with Vitruvius. But he was still at a point with the people of the town where, you know, he enjoyed their company, but he had only known them for up to a week at the time he was working with Vitruvius. They would never be a replacement for the mother he knew for his entire life. Finding her was always his first priority. And while he does care for these people and cared for these people pretty much from the beginning because they're his first friends, it's still a much more shallow relationship than the one he had with Madeline, right? And so I do feel like if it were not Vitruvius, anybody else could have led him astray. He could have led himself astray if he found power and didn't know what to do with it. Because he's a very selfish individual. He has a lot to learn when it comes to compassion still. And that's a big part of what the people were for him, I think. A big part of their purpose in his life was to help him learn these things. I'm kind of obsessed with how this works. Yeah. So he very conceivably could have become wicked. And his definition of wicked would be warped in general because his perspective was based on storybooks and also the experience that his mother had that he learned of through similar books. And that's a lot of what made him feel any contempt that he felt for the people, which was kind of vague, to be clear. He never really had any strong contempt for any villager in particular. But he did have a bit of a problem with the people with a capital P, TM at the end, the people trademark, because he saw in the townspeople of New Witchington, just as a whole, a lot of what he imagined for the civilization that cast his mother aside. They reminded him of the treatment that she had. You know, having pure-hearted wishes and doing her best and offering support to the people so that society could thrive and flourish, and, you know, sharing her gifts with the world and wanting to teach people magic and stuff, and being cast aside when she made a mistake or threw a tantrum or did something that they deemed as wrong, rather than consoled or asked what was going on. Just kind of immediately, you know, snubbed. Which is also reasonable for the townspeople to do, because this man threw a tantrum with a body count, you know? But either way, it was something that he drew a lot of parallels in, and I could see a scenario where even if he wasn't allied to Vitruvius, he could still see things like that and take pity or form a grudge, I guess is how I'll say it. Yeah, I could see that happening. Very possible scenario. I personally am a fan of the fact that we got the one where he just kind of like had sweet domestic moments with the knights. I always thought it was really awesome. Oh, that one moment we never got where he confused Vitruvius for Madeline. I was desperate for that to happen. One of the biggest things I was hoping for in the townspeople finding out that Calvin was playing double agent was for them to confront him. And for them to start talking about like, oh, you can't work with Vitruvius, that guy's terrible. I had it so clearly vivid in my head. I daydreamed it so many times over the course of those days. I was so short. They'd be like, Calvin, you can't work with Vitruvius, that guy's a monster. And then he'd be like, you don't even know her! Because he sees Madeline in him. So it'd be like a... Yeah, no, I just think it would have been such an auriful moment, and I grieve that it didn't happen and that it never will happen. Unfortunately, I was stalked by Zaddy in the night. And there was no confrontation. People were just kind of generally awkward around him. But that's okay. Because that was also good RP. It's just not the specific fantasy that I had. You ever wish you could just control the entire world and everybody in it and be like, you're going to say this because now I'm playing dolls. Yeah, that would have been a really cool moment, I think. Kind of want to see this on the other version again. I really like the olden one. This is so... Weh. Natukashi. Alright, I do need to clear this gate up a little bit, though. Can I do like... Oh, that's not what I meant to do. I wonder, can I do like... I wish I could do like a gradient. Make it higher on one than the other. I guess I could split it and do it like that. That's one way to do it. Yeah, I need it to be more like a gate that is not fully formed. Like so. Awesome. Yeah, it never really became something that was discussed by the town as a whole. It was really just a select group of people that chose to just kind of quietly gossip about it rather than form a big confrontation. But I was hoping there would be one. You know, for Vitruvius, they were holding town meetings. They were organizing a meeting to decide how to deal with it. I wanted the same, but I guess my tantrum wasn't explosive or existent. So it's very fair that it did not happen. But that was my hope. I was cooking that moment in my mind palace for a while. Did Calvin believe that his mother was truly heartless, or did he see her as someone who was misunderstood and misrepresented by the people who outcast her? Did he see her as something in between? I've said before that describing Madeline, I will never describe her in a more objective way or from her own perspective. I can only describe her through Calvin's perspective, and Calvin, in general, will not always be the most reliable narrator. However, I will say that from Calvin's perspective, he has complicated thoughts about Madeline. There have been times where he felt like she didn't feel anything, perhaps. There would be times where he felt that she was cold. There would be times when he was desperate for more of a reaction from her. Times where he felt hated. But at the end of the day, you know, there's nobody that he would rather have at his bedside when he's sick. And there is, you know, probably nobody else in the world as important to him in the present. He wants to find her again so badly. And that's still his mother. And, you know, regardless of her motive in making him, which we'll never discuss. I know, but I'll never tell you. Regardless of her motive in making him, she still made him. And by his rationale later on in life, like by the point, I say later on like he's ancient, but like later on as in around the time of post-Vcraft, shortly post-Vcraft when he's still searching for closure, but he has people to find it with him. I imagine that he would come to the conclusion that if it was for a nefarious purpose or for something just, you know, for logic's sake, or what is the word I'm looking for? For an eruditious purpose, like just for the sake of studying it, she could have treated him really poorly. She could have given him minimal care or no care at all. She could have just terminated him after succeeding. She could have put him to hard labor. But she did raise him as a son and did do motherly things. Basic household things did go to her familiars. Of course, she wasn't cooking and cleaning, but she would read him stories when he was little. And she taught him a lot of stuff. He'll never know exactly, maybe, unless he finds her, which no confirmation there either. But unless he finds her, he'll never know what she really wanted. But yeah, he always believed that she was misunderstood. Or I guess maybe not always. There were times where his conviction wavered. But in the bottom of his heart, and like as his strongest lasting value surrounding her, I like to think that he always believed that she was misunderstood. And because he only knew her from the moment he was born, you know, it's hard for him to say whether she was cold as somebody who lost their heart would be, or if it was just her nature and she was always like that. He didn't have the perspective of Madeline before, and he never will. Yeah. Even still, I wonder if she wouldn't answer his questions. Very possible, because he asked her a lot of questions, and in general, she would answer almost any question he asked. If it related to the world, if it related to magic, history, science, math, she would answer any questions. But anything related to her and anything related to him, she generally would not give him an answer. She was very elusive and secretive about that. And that's a big reason that they ended up having their big explosive fight before he left the tower. Or before she left the tower, rather. The last time they saw each other. It was all because he had all of these piled up unanswered questions. And the fact that it was all being kept secret from him was frustrating. Because for him, a lot of these questions are a matter of identity, right? There are things in this world that we'll never know. But I think not knowing who you are or what you are can be a very frustrating and miserable experience. And it's not one that many people have the strength to hold on to, you know? It can be difficult to grin and bear it if it's a matter of not knowing who you are. I think it meant a lot to him, so that's why they ended up fighting. There were buildings over here, actually. Sorry to like interrupt mid lore dumping just with. I think there was a building here. Yeah, there was like a treasure thing here that people went for a lot. But yeah, I kind of want to try mixing fence in with this too. What does that look like? Can I mix it in? Ooh, kind of like a foundation. Kind of cool. Have a reference or building from memory? I am building from memory. I'm not pulling up a reference. I'm not looking at a reference. I want this to be an approximate recreation of what the ruins look like in my heart. Just in my mind. I walked this path a billion times, but there are going to be things that I miss because, like, I realized there were a ton of trees in between here. There were some ruins down this way too, but ultimately I only really saw this crop right here the most. This is what I saw. This was Kaelix's POV of the ruins, pretty much. And even this isn't exact. This is just approximate. I just want to make something like the ruins rather than a one-to-one recreation of the ruins. I think if I get too caught up in making it a perfect recreation, I'll end up making something really weird and like lopsided, and I'll never be satisfied. That being said, the paths actually employed a lot of stone. I think a way I want to do this is I want to do little patchy clicks of stone like this. And then I want to mix in other stone with it. Just like in Minecraft. Did Madeline's lullaby have lyrics when she sang it to Calvin, or was it just humming? It was just humming, but sometimes she would sing it on a like an open vowel instead. Like one that she would do a lot would be ah 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 ah. Like that kind of vowel. Or like a hoo, hoo, hoo. Yeah. But she would often hum it if it was as a lullaby, like when he was littler, when he was small, and needed sleep aid. Which, by the way, motherly habit. I'll never give a definitive answer on exactly what Madeline was and exactly what her contracts did to her, but at the very least, her actions were those of a mother. And that much you can get just through Calvin's perspective. I hope it's not annoying of me to describe things this way. I don't know, it just makes it so much more fun for me. And it's so much more in line with the mode of storytelling that I was hoping for. So that's why I'm constantly like, I'll never tell. Yeah, no, it did not have lyrics, and I personally would not ever write lyrics for it because I think it's better without them. I think that's one of those things where it is better without. I think a lot of things don't need to have lyrics. The same way that I feel about, I don't know if I've ever told you the name that I gave to the ending screen theme that I wrote for my own streams. That one I actually call Lullaby Until Next Time. I also would never give that one lyrics. There have been people that gave them lyrics and they were all very cute, but yeah, I personally would not. It's one of those where I feel like I want the sound of it itself to convey the feeling rather than words. I think there are some things that words fail to do justice, personally. That's why I probably never will. That is something that people have asked me to do before, but that probably will never happen. Yeah. Teehee. I can give you a name though. Yeah, Lullaby. It's either Lullaby Until or Lullaby Till next time. Like with the little apostrophe, like a shortened until. Just continue this path a little bit. Get a clear sense of where this goes. We kind of got the vision cooking here. All right, and then we'll do one of these. Let's see. Thinking emoji. I'm trying to think, before I pull this one up, I don't know if I actually have an answer to it. I'm trying to think about it. Morse code? No, it kind of sounds like it though. Right. Da 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 da. That's when I pull out a lot. It cracks me up. Da 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 da. I could put Morse code in the path actually. I could actually do that. You want to see that? It would look like this. There is a way to do that. I could do like... In fact, if I wanted to, I could actually put it around here. I could do... Oh, but you can't really see that because of the grass. Okay, hold on. I need to find another way. Maybe I could do it with this. It doesn't really clear away the grass enough. Because a way to do it is to do it in a circle. Ooh, wait, I could do it like this. I don't know if you can read that. Hehe. Oh, I can erase the grass with the flower brush. Like this. Nope. You can't read it? Okay, hold on. Maybe I can make it more clear. I could actually make that more clear too. Here's how I'll do it. Deet, 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 deet. Oh, wait, hold on. I did that wrong. Oops. Actually, like this. Deet. Oh, wait. Maybe if you can see my mouse. Deet, 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 deet. Oh, no. It starts here. I did it wrong twice. Okay, starting here. Deet, 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 deet. Deet, deet. Da, 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 deet. Deet, 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 deet. Da, 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 deet. You see the vision? Secret message in the dirt. I still need to give you a Morse code lesson stream. I'll give you a Morse code lesson one of these days. You'll be able to discern words like these more easily. I only gave you a few letters, and I figure if you haven't used them since then, it's very easy to forget them. I spelled it right, didn't I? Did I do it wrong? I thought you said hearing glasses rather than learning glasses. It made me think of that clip from Courage the Cowardly Dog where it's like, Courage, you know I can't hear you without my glasses on. I spelled it right? Oh, okay. Awesome. Sugoi. Oh, to make it more visible though, I kind of need to do this. And I could afford to space it out a little bit more for this one. Make the message more clear. And then erase this a little bit. It's kind of lopsided, but that is a cool way to format Morse code, is to do it in a ring. Something I learned from Yakusoku no Neverland, Promise Neverland. Spoiler warning. Oops. Alright. Let's see, where else do we want? I kind of want to see it like this again. I just keep wanting to go back to Olden. This is the vibe I love. Completely demolishes our... Oh, no, you can still see that. Yeah, starting here. Deet, 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 da, 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 deet. Secret message around the waystone. Let's see. I do kind of want to keep some of these rocks. Because I noticed earlier I moved a stump and it stayed there. Maybe there are some seasonal decorations that I can work into my winter build. Ooh, I do kind of want to use this, by the way. I have a nasty, nefarious, evil idea. Okay, let's see what that looks like if I switch back to winter. Yeah, so I can actually use these rocks, but they're a little green, so maybe not. Yeah, I think I'm going to trash these. Psych! Alright, hold on. We can do it like this. Hehehehe. I think I had a chest out front too. Maybe I could find something to replace this with. I could do like, maybe I could do this in place of the chest. Box of gifts. For my grandmother. Hee hee hee. Okay. Let's see. Do you think if Calvin learned the concept of romance, he would feel different towards some people? I don't personally think he would, but that's just my personal read on him. I prefer to leave him open to interpretation. However, I just don't think that's something he would do anytime soon. It's just not something he knows or that he's interested in right now. And because any development, it would have to be super, super far in the future. So it would not be very fitting to give an answer either way, yes or no. Even if I have my personal thought. I think anything, like when we get into like many years post-game, that's not something I would want to talk about. If it's more than 1 year post-game, that's not something I want to canonize. I think it's more fun to leave that kind of stuff open. Yeah. Sorry, that's kind of like a non-answer because the question was about the far future, but I will not give any answers about the far future. That being said, I think what Calvin needs is a different kind of companionship. I think romance is kind of overrated as the ultimate companionship. I actually radically disagree with it when it comes to portraying it as that and as like the end goal of any character's like hero's journey. I've never liked that, actually. It's actually a bit of a turnoff for me whenever I'm reading a story or a piece of fiction or watching a movie or playing a game. And after the main guy's adventure is over, he gets the girl or the guy or whoever. And that's like a prize at the end of the trail. I've never liked that very much. I prefer an ending and like a post ending where he just lives his life surrounded by his friends. And when he passes, he's got a bedside that's just surrounded by people close to his age. That's how I feel. But that's just me. That's just my personal standards. And I would not be so cruel as to impose my personal standards on your fantasies. So you're free to imagine what you want, but I will say it is kind of in direct opposition to anything that I would give you an official answer for. So maybe, I guess, don't go looking for that answer from me, because you're not going to get one that you like if that's what you're interested in. I'm afraid. Sorry. I don't know. That's just how I feel. I've never liked because romance is awesome. Romance is awesome. Who knows? Maybe I will have a taste of it someday again. Maybe the day will come for me. And I have the mindset where it's not something that I personally want right now. And I may never. I don't know. I'm at a point in my life where I'd rather focus on, on my career, on you. But, if it came to pass that I lived the rest of my life and never felt something like that again or never experienced it, I wouldn't think that made my life less. I don't think it's something that I need, if that makes sense. The way I feel, I think the best life you can live is one where you have a good circle of people that you can rely on. And I like having multiple people in my life that are of equal importance. That's just me, though. This is not me trying to like impose my standards on you. Yeah, that's just how I feel. And so for Calvin, who is very much like, in a lot of ways, he is an extension of me. And he's especially an extension of the past me. Versions of me from when I was younger and less aware, less experienced as a person, I guess. It's like I can't help but inject that feeling and that experience that I've had into my self-insert OC. Which is a funny way to put it, but it's exactly what it's like. I think I'm going to make this a bigger building with a bunch of little pieces. But yeah, I hope that's reasonable. And if it's not, TBH, IDC. Because it's my life. And I am the captain of my ship. I think that's awesome. And I think I'm awesome. So, yeah. That's where I stand with that stuff. That being said, I love romance and fiction, and I think romance and fiction can be very nice. But if I want it, I'm usually going to look for it in like a rom-com. You know what I mean? I get a little turned off when it's injected into something that is meant to be focused on other stuff, even though it is a very integral part of just like the human experience in a lot of ways and throughout history. Maybe that's just me. Yeah, I'd rather watch like a slice of life high school rom-com if I wanna get invested in a romance, rather than have it be injected into Lord of the Rings, for example. Because VCraft for me in a lot of ways was just like watching Lord of the Rings, or being in Lord of the Rings, I guess. Romance is better when the story isn't just romance. I guess that's true, and it can mean more when it's not the main focus, but for me, it has to be really tasteful, and it has to be really integral to the story from the very beginning for it to feel in place. But again, that's just my standard. My standard is not the standard. That's just what I like. I think if people did not like romance in all kinds of stories, it wouldn't show up in all kinds of stories. And the fact that it does tells me that a lot of people like it. So there's nothing to... there's no shame, is what I mean to say. Yeah. Lord of the Rings spoiler alert. Did I spoil anything? Well, I guess I kind of did. Oopsie. You've had over a decade, 2 decades. When did Lord of the Rings films come out? When were the books written? You've had so many decades. Sorry. Too slow. Oh, you asked a question that I've actually thought about before. Would Calvin remember enough of Madeline to draw her, and would he want to? If Calvin... This is actually something I thought about when we were playing. When I learned about the painting function, I kind of wanted a situation like this to happen. And I had such an angsty situation brewing in my head that never happened. But it is actually kind of really, really intensely sad, actually. But... oh, I'm trying to think of how to tastefully answer in a way that is not just like... Zeal at one point jokingly said I'm like anti-Mary Sue. I can't remember what the actual term that he used was, but there's a term for like Mary Sue, but it's just like, my OC has to suffer in everything. She goes through so much pain and her life is so sad and terrible. And I'm gonna put her through more because I'm quirky and awesome. He said that Calvin was very anti-Mary Sue, is what Zeal said. Whatever the name for that is. Harry Sue, is that what it is? But anyway, I kind of like... I feel as I'm trying to cook up the way I want to tell you this thought that I had, it feels very true, right? It feels like I'm cooking something so sad, like needlessly sad. But I feel like he would actually struggle to draw her face a little bit. And post VCraft, something for him to process and probably work through in a more serious way with Vitruvius is that I do feel like he would start to draw Vitruvius's face when trying to recall Madeline's. Because it has been a while. His memory of her would be more vague. He'd remember colors rather than her exact features. I don't know if that's... is that too much? Is that too far? But that is a thought that I had at one point, actually. And it is on a more serious and less like joking about putting fictional characters through pain moment. On a more serious level, that is actually a very real experience for people that experience loss and who go a long time without seeing people. Something I actually thought of in relation to this was there was a particular Jack Stober video that stuck with me for a while that I think he made about his own mother. And yeah, I think it would be a very serious and heavy moment for him, and it would be a moment for him to really process some things that he's still running away from. Because one of his biggest problems is that even now he's running away from the fact that his mother's probably not out there. He's not really willing to accept that she might not be anywhere. Even now that he has all these people around him that can support him, he still is like clinging to the idea that because he hasn't had it proven that she's gone, he can't believe that she's gone. Yeah. So no, I think he could draw her silhouette really well. And he could describe the things that she's done, and he could describe so many memories with her, but her face would be a bit blurry. And honestly, even it's something I can kind of relate to in my own life in a way. Thankfully not with my own mother. That would be really, really sad for me to go through, but I have a really good memory of faces. Actually, it's one of my secret superpowers. I'm really good at remembering people's faces. I struggle with matching them to names. But there are some faces that, you know, I haven't seen in a really long time, and they do start to contort and shift and become something slightly different in my memory. But it is still something I'm usually good at, so it's not too bad. But I can kind of relate to the experience of, for example, trying to remember somebody that I knew in elementary school, that I have not known since elementary school or middle school. When I try to remember my very first friend group, because I didn't actually socialize with other kids my age until I was in middle school. Some fun Kaelix lore for you. I did not really form friendships till middle school. When I try to remember my first middle school friend group, which I was only friends with for about a year and a half because I had to move schools immediately after I met them. When I try to remember what they looked like, the ones that I spoke with the most, I can remember the haircuts they had. I can remember the kind of outfits they wore, right down to the colors and patterns. But their faces are kind of mushy. I don't know if that makes sense. And I think that's just a very human experience, right? But on the flip side, there are people that... I think there were either 2 or maybe 3 people that at my anime impulse meetup, I think I actually also saw in the Kosnichi meet and greet. I think I recognized 2 or 3 people. That being said, you know, I mentioned that I can remember a face, but I struggle to match it to a person a lot. I could see in the moment that this is somebody that I've seen before, but I could not remember exactly who it was. That's one of my weaknesses as it balances out a little bit. But yeah, that is actually something I thought about for Calvin at one point. And it would be a very necessary part of his journey eventually, because, again, I won't confirm or talk much about anything in the long-term future, like super distant future, more than 1 year post-game, but I do think that, you know, you can probably intuit this on your own even. He's gonna have to accept after long enough, if he never finds her, that she's either living a beautiful life where he can never reach her, and that's fine, or that, you know, he can just process it another way, in a way that is more normal and that other people can relate to and understand, and that's okay. I think that's something he would need. I almost wish I had more space. I would make the river. Sorry, random. I love when I interrupt dropping devastating lore to just like, oh, I love how the buildings look in the water. Yeah, if I had more space, I'd build the river out here. Unfortunately, I cannot. Now what? Anything in particular that made Calvin nostalgic? Remember his time back in the tower with Madeline. It was not in my initial plan, but it ended up coming up in roleplay. I kind of gradually canonized that there were sunflowers in the areas around his childhood home. Either that or a flower that is very much like sunflowers, maybe something different, slightly different. Bookshelves covered in books would be a big piece of nostalgia for him, and it was not a coincidence that I filled his entire home with them. It was not purely just me trying to make it look like he was studying all the time. aside from the utility of reading a book and trying to find information in it, he would also be, you know, clinging to the nostalgia of what it feels like to be surrounded by books. Because from an early age, he was just in a wealth of them. That was her biggest collection, probably was books. And I like to imagine that, I think we described this at one point. I imagine that her familiars function kind of like you know, did you ever watch Avatar: The Last Airbender? Do you know the fox familiars for Wanshitong's library? The library in the middle of the desert? I imagine that her familiars, there'd be some of them that functioned a lot like those foxes. I imagine that they would venture out into the world and kind of steal books from under people's noses and then bring them back for her own reference and study so that she wouldn't have to go looking for anything. So. Oh man, the trees are denser here in the ruins than they are outside. That's kind of breaking my immersion. Oopsie. Okay. Wah, wah, wah. Meow, meow, meow. Yummy, yummy lore. Yeah, so I imagine that he would have deep nostalgia for books. I think he may have inherited a sweet tooth from Madeline because she would really love eating. I guess I shouldn't use words like love to describe anything she did, but she would often eat sweets, and she was particularly prone to having her familiars prepare cakes for her. She ate a lot of multi-layered cakes. So I feel like if he saw some really saccharine, sugary, like cream-colored, covered, fruit-topped cakes, I do feel like it would make him think of her as well, and of like being a kid and sharing cakes, having tea parties. She would have a lot of cake and tea. Yeah. As I've said, Calvin would enjoy reading storybooks. Would he have any favorite kinds of stories? I may have answered this at one point before, so I apologize if my answer now contradicts, because I will say I had a general plan for Calvin from the start, but you may realize it gradually shifted and changed over the course of the playthrough. Yeah, I think a lot of the books he was reading were academic, like nonfiction or like magical study related. Ooh, I actually like that one. A lot of them were academic, but I do think he would love works of fiction. I think he particularly would enjoy fantastical ballads and legends about heroes. Like the classic knight saves the princess from the dragon type stories. I think he would enjoy things like that. I think he would enjoy... I don't know. I think in general he was very drawn to fantastical adventure stories because he had a very Rapunzel in the Tower life experience, you know? He was confined to one small tower and a very small stretch of forest around the tower, and he never really saw anything else. So in his mind palace, reading all these fantasy stories, he had the privilege of imagining something different than what he had access to. Something bigger than what he had access to. And I think that's something that he would kind of cling to. And I think it's something that would give him the motivation and the courage to step into the portal for the very first time and enter the world of VCraft Enchanted, right? Because being stuck in that place for all that time, it could make it actually really scary, I imagine, to leave the moment you have an exit. I feel like I personally, being in his position, even wanting to go out and imagining different things, I don't know if I would have it in me to leave that safe place when the rest of the world is unknown and when, you know, my mother is constantly hammered into my head how dangerous the place is outside of my home, how dangerous the world is, how dangerous the people in the world are. And I feel like if I were in that position, I would be a lot like a bird sitting in a cage with an open door. You know, the exit is completely open, but I don't know that I would fly out in his position. Did he hesitate to leave? I think he did. Yeah, I think he did hesitate. I think he had to think about it. It took him some time to get ready. Prepare himself a little bit, change clothes. I imagine that a lot of the clothes he wore, actually, he gathered while he was on his travels. Even though he was technically wearing them on day 1 in the game. I imagine that he found these, like this tunic and stuff. I imagine that he found these separately in the new world rather than bringing them from home. I actually imagine that the clothes that she had him in were a bit different. I imagine that his clothes were cleaner and a bit more vibrant. Maybe like a prettier fabric as well. A little less dusty. I'm trying to think of what I want to do here in the end. We definitely had some walls and structures here, though. This was like moss purgatory, this area to the left here. Like to the left facing the tower. There was poison ivy everywhere, and I remember the first few days of the playthrough, every time I'd walk in this area, I'd start taking damage, and it was so annoying. And it took so long to clear it all up. Got it eventually, though. Hehe. But yeah. I imagine, like, living in the tower... I have a more clear vision of what she'd put him in as a kid. In his young adulthood, it's a little bit different in my mind, but as a kid, I actually imagine him in slightly feminine clothes. I imagine she put him in like gowns, simple like gowns, plain gowns, in pale colors. That's what I imagine. Possibly not, though. It's up to your imagination. It is something I like to think about sometimes, though. I don't know if you're familiar. Are you familiar with the... There's like an older art trend. I don't remember the Japanese name. It was an art trend hashtag. It was like, we'll meet at the witch's gathering or something like that. That served as the early inspiration for Calvin's concept, actually. There were a lot of interpretations of the art trend that I personally was not a very big fan of, just because of the context, but the idea, to summarize it for you, is it was an art trend where people would draw a witch taking in like a boy servant, like a young child, and because she's a witch and she uses magic, she's not going to look like she's aging at all over time. So it's like a 2 art concept. You do 2 illustrations. The first one is when she has her, like the child that she saved or created or adopted or whatever, raising as her son or whatever, apprentice maybe. And then the second one is when that child has grown up and she still looks exactly the same. It was a big art trend a billion years ago. And I remember when I was trying to think of characters to play for VCraft, I just spontaneously remembered that. Or maybe I was like looking for inspo and I found a piece of it on Pinterest or whatever. But yeah, honestly, if you want to imagine what Calvin may have looked like in early childhood, I would look to a lot of that because that was the earliest inspiration for his character. I saw that and I was like, ooh, I can cook with this. I can make something tasteful and classy and delicious. I'm gonna have a sip of my tea. What's the name again? I think it is Let's Meet at the Witch's Gathering. But it was in Japanese. It was a Japanese hashtag. I cannot remember exactly how it translated. But it was an art trend on like Twitter. Ah, did you get it? Let me double check. Yeah, Mato Sukai de Aimashou. That's what it is. That was the earliest inspiration for Calvin. That's where I got my earliest ideas for him. And like thinking about Madeline and what made me want to make like a secondary character that never shows up in the game. Thinking about that art trend was what made me want to make a character like that so important to his narrative. Even though she would never ever show up in the game. Yeah. I kind of want to put something here. I never had anything here, but I mentioned that I was thinking of putting something here when we were playing Minecraft. I could do like... Oh, I love the way this works. Now I want to build like a tavern for By the Beat. I want to make like By the Beat as a tavern. Kind of make like a gazebo. They're gazebos! Natsukashi. It's been a while since I've heard that or thought about it. You know what these are? They're gazebos! Oh, I can change the pattern on the roof. That kind of makes me want to make like a stage, actually. Like imagine... Oh, oops. Or like this. Ooh, you could use this as a path, actually. That would make a cleaner path than like the dirt path or like the drawing tool. You can make a path using buildings like this. And it has a trim if you do that. I have just unlocked so many ideas. Oh my god, I want to play this game more. Okay, hold on. Wait! Oh my god! The building stays! In the absence of the roof! Ah! Oh, I love it. I wish I would have known that earlier. That would have saved me so much trouble. Oh my god, wait. Are you telling me that I can... Whoops. Can I do just the roof? Oh, I guess not the round one. Oh, wait, maybe. Hold on. Hold on. If I do like this, can I do... Okay, I guess not. It's a little different, but that's okay. Did his roof have a color? I imagine it just being like a dark wooden color, but I don't remember. I sat on that roof a lot though. AU where the TNT went off. Yeah, let's use our imagination a little bit. AU where Lament wins. Honestly, there's actually something kind of nice about this. Because then the tower matches the rest of the ruins. At some point, I did kind of want to explore like world building that would explain why the tower specifically was spared. I need to go over here so I know how far back I can go. Okay. We're kind of cooking. I don't know what else to do though. There was a pit that went down into an underwater source of, like an underwater source of that stone that we used in the courtroom here. Oh, there are still decorations, by the way. I haven't explored lighting. Maybe I could use this to do our mage light system that we had. You could just do torches instead. Unfortunately, there is no magic. Except there is magic for the stairs in this game, I think. I saw that in a demo video when they released that update on Twitter. I saw it. I get a lot of game dev stuff on my Twitter, actually. Because I love games. That could be a way to do it. Come up with any lore for the tower? Nothing definitive. I never defined any clear lore for it, but in the back of my mind, this civilization that he found, this ruined area, belonged to a magic people. Like, they practiced magic, and the magic that they practiced was different from the magic that the people learned through the Ars Nouveau and developed through the Ars Nouveau in New Witchington. It was a different kind of magic, and that's why he was here. Everything he found was something interesting and different, but nothing revolved around the focus of study that he was trying to figure out. He wasn't able to find anything about, like, seeking magic. Like, he wanted to develop or discover seeking magic, like location magic, to find a certain person's essence, and relocation, teleportation. He wanted to transport things through portals. He wanted to investigate portals into different worlds. Those were the two sources of magics that he wanted, but he wasn't able to find them here in his time, at least during VCraft. It's up to your imagination if you'd like to imagine a happy ending where he masters the things he's looking for and he finds her and then they live a domestic life here in New Witchington together, but I will not confirm any ending, like, post-game. I'll only discuss, like, what happens up to 1 year after post-game, I think, definitively. Any creatures in the area? I feel like there would be, obviously, because it's been very reclaimed by nature. There was some... Oh, yeah, I mentioned that, like, this place would be a people that practice magic, and this place in particular would be important to that magic, I think, which would be why, of all these broken ruins, the only thing that's left is this one tower that's still kind of hanging on, and this magical area here in the center. I always imagine that something happened to that society, like maybe they studied a little scary stuff, like they went a little too far with what they were trying to look into. There is, like, a limit to how much we should know as people and how much we should be able to do. And I think whether it's fiction or reality, we're always going to see people that push it too far and develop too much or learn too much and then get burned for it. Yeah, I imagine there was some catastrophe that devastated the whole land, and that the area of New Witchington where the town was developed, I actually imagine that that area was probably even more prosperous, or like areas around there, but they were so thoroughly devastated that it was literally just land. I like to imagine that this ruin in particular where he lives, it was something special about it. Maybe they had protective spells going on to protect the place, to protect the buildings, to protect the people. The spells were not strong enough to save them or to save the town, but it preserved a little bit of the architecture, which is why you have some walls and doors that are still holding up, and why you have one tower right at the top that I imagine belonged to somebody important. But yeah, I do imagine, to kind of loop back around, sorry, I'm weaving. I do imagine that as this place has been gradually reclaimed by nature, I imagine that animals would come to live here as well. Just all kinds, any of the local animals. Anything you can find in VCraft. Now, there would be some animals that would probably avoid this place or certain areas of this place due to the extant magic. There was still some magic clinging to this place. Kind of like, I feel like they could avoid it kind of like how we should avoid radioactive materials. I think it'd be a very similar vibe. I want to rotate these a little bit. I want to put stuff up here too. Alright, give me something new. Is there anything that will fit here? Everything's too big. Akona Palace. Too big, boy. Kasi my heart is too big. Whoa. Maybe I could put like a wheel or something up here. Kind of want to do something with the wood too. That's a nice decoration. Ooh, bird's nest. Bird's nest is cute. Can I put it on the roof? I can. Cute. Cute, 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 cute. No, I need something else. I need something that fits better on this balcony. No, there's nothing that will fit here. I'll have to go into another season's decorations. You know what? Let's just do that. Because I've learned a strat in this game. The decorations, some of them change with the seasons, but some of them are limited to the seasons, is my understanding. So there are some that might only show up. Oh, maybe I'm flop. I'm wrong. I lied. Sorry. Show's over. Go home. Kind of nice to see this in a warmer color, though. Let's see it in fall, because Kaelix is still clinging to fall. I just can't let go of autumn. It's not over yet. Would the people be communal in Magic? I think they would be communal. I think they'd be working together for something, and I think they would have a common goal. I never fully defined it because it wouldn't have any meaning in the actual game. Like in VCraft. It wouldn't have any context or purpose, but I imagine in my brain, in my mind palace, that they wanted to like summon something. Maybe they wanted to summon something they worshipped. And they summoned something, but not what they were worshipping. Or maybe they summoned what they were worshipping and it was different than what they thought it would be. And it was not as kind or merciful as they imagined, or things like that, you know? Kind of like Final Fantasy XIV-esque writing is what I imagine for these people. I imagine they banded together to develop something to summon something cool. Or there's one really, really good episode of one of the Adventure Time spin-offs that I won't spoil or name that covers a similar idea that I really, really liked. I imagine a society kind of like that, but slightly less magically developed. Very similar magic to the stuff they had in the Ars Nouveau, but still distinct and different. And then the only thing that I was ever actually able to do in practice that nobody else could do because nobody else realized was casting spells without the mage light being visible. Because people did not realize that if you lower all the values to 0, it'll just be invisible. So that was how I casted invisible spells. And my canon for that, you know, in the real world, it's just that other people did not connect the dots for that. It was a very not obvious thing you could do. But for Calvin, the lore there was that he actually learned that from these ruins and from studying them and investigating the trace extant magic that's still here. Yeah. And I did share it with Vitruvius, so now he knows. Vox knows. Maybe he'll put that to use at some point. Yeah. Trying to think, are we missing anything? What else do we need? I could stand to decorate a little bit more. All right, let's see. Can we make this place look barren? That kind of works. And then I can throw in... Oh, I wanted to do something with this. I'm going to line it up over here. That's where we put our firewood, is around the back, usually. Can I make it overlap? That'd be nice. Awesome. Ooh, and you know, maybe a fun addition that could come later. It never happened, but if we're talking, this is like maybe like a few months post-game, maybe he's more committed to staying here a little bit longer. Again, I said earlier, Calvin would not stay in these ruins very long. He's learned everything he can from these places. I think he'd come back to New Witchington from time to time, but I think he would adventure elsewhere. But quality of life feature could be to add a ladder that leads up to his busted room. That could be a cool accessibility feature to get in more quickly. Because he got that busted hole in his wall. With all the furniture that nobody will notice unless I zoom in. What decorations have I not played with? Is there anything more to do with the flags? Did I just put that on the... Oh, wait. I need to give him windows too. I forgot about that. But hold on. I want to explore this. I want to look at all these logos. Cute. Pretty. Oh, it's Sable. I love this. That is such a Sable logo. Sorry, here come Big Seignon. That's kind of him though, isn't it? Calvin. That's very him. We'll put it over here. No, we won't. It needs to be symmetrical wherever it is. Oh, we'll cover the gap right here. We have that ugly gap between the broken wall in order to accomplish the busted illusion over here. I had to make that asymmetrical so it didn't break the door on the bottom floor, the ground floor. All right, we need to play with windows. This window should match because it's the... Oh, you can make it big! You can make the door bigger! That's kind of cute. However, I will not. Oh, you know what? I'll make this door regular, and I'll make this door bigger. Oh, but now I have to restructure the busted wall. Oh, okay. How far can I go? Oh, man. Okay, hold on. Never lose hope. Okay, that's how I can save this. Merge it like that. Oh, looks like we lost our decoration. Uh-oh. Okay. Merge it together like this, I guess. Oh, man. Oh, it's so ugly. Hide it. Oh, quickly hide it. Oh. Okay. Much better. It's asymmetrical, though. Ah, I hate it. I hate it so much. Okay, we can make this better. We can make it look like it's on purpose. Yeah, that looks totally on purpose, right? Oh my gosh. Okay. I think there were windows on either side, maybe. Oh, but these are gonna get messed up because of the wall. I can't put them there. All right, only the second floor up and up get windows. This is kind of funny. There'd be a window that intersects with the busted wall. That's exactly what happened, actually. I think it broke through the window itself. So I can do that for max immersion. Oh, I can combine the windows too. Let's do that. What's the biggest one look like? Oh, you can make like the ones that jut out. Those are really cute. I like those. Hold on, we'll do this for now, but on the upper floor, it'd be kind of cute to have like a... Oh, that's cute. It's inconsistent with the rest of the building, though. All right. One on either side. Oh, I could put different stuff on it. Can I just get the plain one? Oh, wait. Is it on the other side? That's kind of funny. It's busted. Look at his busted window. Poor guy. Poor guy in his busted house. Chopped. He's gonna get chopped at the bob off. See, the window is broken because of the wall illusion. I can't have both. Oh, man. Well, hold on. Maybe there's a way. Maybe there's something I haven't realized about the walls yet. Maybe they work the same way buildings do. No. Does not seem to be the case, unfortunately. I think the only way I can get that busted illusion is to do it this way. Oh, but I'd almost rather there be no windows if it's going to be like that. Pain. Oh, man. I hate it. Now you have to listen to me whine and complain about it forever. What happened? All right, he just gets busted chopped windows for his dusty, busted house. Maybe we could do the loops. Give it some texture. Make some holes here and there. Make it kind of look like there are bricks missing, actually. What's the meaning of this? What is happening here? What was all that? That was awfully dramatic. Oh, I forgot to paint this part of the wall. That's gonna drive me crazy if I don't fix it right now. This color. This one too. Holy moly. Okay, and then up like this. Yeah, I think adding the loops just around randomly is nice. Like little holes in the wall, little like missing bricks here and there. It's gotta look weathered and old and dusty. Is there anything else I could do? Ooh, I could hang one of these near the door. After learning his perfect mage light glyph, though, he ended up just lighting everything with magic. It's not very Calvin-esque, but kind of want to see if there's anything I could do with this, but it's not very suited to the area. See, I was wondering about cobwebs too, but I don't think there are. I think the best I can do is just put all the little holes in the wall. That would make it a perfect recreation, though, is if I could put cobwebs up on the top. Make it look super abandoned. Let's see, anything else? Anything I want to do here? I could... Maybe I could put one of these over here. Make it look kind of like it's supposed to be here. No, it's too much. Does look nice, but it's too much. One is fine, I think. But even then, he wouldn't put up a tapestry like that. He would... Because he's all about preserving this place as it is. He would not put his own emblem there or anything. And I don't think he'd go out of his way to put an old lost emblem here either, because there aren't people living here. I think if he put anything here, it would be for pragmatic use. Like, he'd put one of these here. This he would absolutely put out. If he had to. Of course, he was able to suffice with just mage light. Lighting to the trees? I wish! Oh my gosh, that's how I did it in VCraft. Let's see it at night, though. We've been locked to the day this whole time. Oh, my nostalgia. Oh, it's activating something in me. Oh, this looks even more like a waystone if I do it like this. Maybe I could do torch on each end like this instead. Maybe I could do it in a circle around. Just really surround the border. Oh, whoops. That's way too much. What were you thinking, Kaelix? One on each side might be fine, though. Excuse me! I did not agree to this. Turn the lights back off. Now that looks kind of nice. I'm not going to be able to get that perfectly aligned, am I? Oh, man. But isn't that so... Wait, hold on. This is what I want to play with. Oh, my God. Okay, hold on. How can I... Can I adjust the angle better? I want, like, a first-person perspective. That's what I want. I don't know if it's going to let me do that. Aw, man. I was about to gas this camera up so much. Oh, it's like a map. Wait, that's cute. Ah, Natsukashi! This is what it would look like from the north-south perspective. The courtroom was to the north and the tower was to the west. Oh, so nostalgic. Oh, wait. Camera on feet. Okay, let's find our way. It's just like we're in VCraft. Excuse me. I'm just gonna lock it at night. Oh, there's a gate. There was a gate in the distance. Actually, you know what? At this point, we've been here for so long. I should have thought of this earlier. I could just... I could... at this point... At this point... I don't know why I didn't think of it earlier. I could literally just... I could just... I could... I could... I mean, if we're just committing to the bit at this point, I might as well, right? I might... It appears there is a gate. Oh, I think we're doing it from the tower's perspective right now, actually. The tower should be up that way, shouldn't it? Oh my gosh. Oh, there's the tower. Ah! So pretty. All right, here's the POV. Teleport. That's what it sounds like to me. There's still much I've yet to learn. There's much I've yet to learn in this world. Oh my gosh. My Shayla. Oh. Okay, hold on. Oh, we got filters in here. Ah! Oh, wait, hold on. This is pretty. It's also a little Halloween, though, so no thank you. Not today. I can make it look like watercolor. Oh, and you can see, like, the individual model instead, like the modeling instead of the coloring. Like it's made of clay. I'm not sure what this does. Maybe we'll find out later. Okay. It's kind of cool seeing the sun just move like that. I could do a really cool symmetry shot with a tower if I wanted to, using the sun control. Awesome. Can I climb up the ladder? My home! Oh, and the candles are lit at night. That's kind of sugoi. Oh my gosh. Oh, I want to go back. I miss it so bad. I'm still not ready to say goodbye, and it's been 2 months. There's something deeply wrong with me. Oh, it's a vignette. Vignette. I think for a shot like this, I'd actually prefer to do it in the day so that it looks like there's nobody inside. Oh, but the fire's lit. So that kind of breaks that immersion anyway. Can I angle it so that the sun is behind? It'll be easier if I make it like sunset. Oh! Hee, I found it! Sunrise, maybe? Can I get the sun as it's coming up? Trying to line up like a symmetrical... symmetrical shot. It's kind of hard though. Ah! There we go! Alright, I found the sun. Which means I can lock it right at the tip of the tower. Awesome. How centered can I get this? Alright, let's play with another. Oh, I can fly. Fly like a bird. That means I can get the waystone in as well. Oh, pretty. Okay, hold on. We gotta switch to the other one. Did I just hear a wing flap? That's kind of cute if I did, unless I just imagined it because I thought about a camera with wings. Wallpaper shot. Here's what I'll do. When we finish today, I'll go through all of them if I can. And I'll just put them on full screen so you can screenshot. And I may even give the honor of being uploaded to Twitter to one of them. Which way is this way is the waystone. We could say that this is his ruin before the sunny blossom trees were in bloom. They weren't in bloom yet for the shot, so that's why everything is green instead of yellow. We'll say that it's like a seasonal blossom and VCraft just happened to take place when it was in bloom. Oh, it's also pretty. I like the watercolor one, but I do wish I could make it a little bit less splotchy. I wish there was like a slider for it. That'd be a cool feature. Oh, I get how the tree feature works now. It hides trees that are in the way so that you can see through them. That could be useful depending on the setting. For example, if I went up like here and turned it on, it'd be like I'm among the trees. I personally like the blockage from the trees though. Like the hiddenness of it. Give a shot of the courtroom. All right, let's try another setting. I don't think we've tried the flower one yet, have we? Flowery. Let's go back to... I love the walking one. It's so cute. Oh, there's my sheep. Hello, Barbara. It's kind of pretty. Love all the colors. You could say this is like when it's transitioning into being in bloom, because you can see they're like green and yellow and orange. They're in kind of like an in-between stage of becoming the trees that we saw in VCraft. I just noticed that that door is asymmetrical, but it's fine because it is a ruined, busted tower from 1 billion years ago. Hello, Barbara. You found a friend. All right. I think that's a wrap. I think we've accomplished our goals. I could take a couple more seasonal shots, though. Maybe. I just noticed these are actually pink, not... Not yellow. I bet I could make them look yellow though. With the right filter. Oh, not this one. This one. Oh no, not this one. This one. To make it feel more yellow. Fly like a bird. Maybe a shot from the balcony POV. Oh, I'm inside. There's nothing in here. My immersion. Awesome. So pretty. Of course, this was always meant to be a Christmas wintry build, I guess. Is what we were cooking for it. The tower in winter. I don't know if because I remember there was talk before about the server getting saved potentially. I did actually go in and leave a message inside the tower that I don't think actually got saved with the server, unfortunately. I think I was a little too late in the server backup process, unfortunately, but I did actually leave a little message in his tower saying that he wasn't living there anymore, but you were free to use it, and that he basically hoped that if you were in need of warmth, it could provide it to you. Was basically what I left. I left a little chest inside with his spell book and some of his things, being like, I have no use for any of these things, but if they're useful to you, then you can have them. So what you can imagine for this, you can imagine that somebody else has found his ruins and are borrowing them, borrowing the tower. Yeah, I personally do not think he would stay in the tower very long post VCraft. I think within the first year post game, he would leave and find other ruins to investigate. Yeah, he would not stay very long. Again, I think he would come back to New Witchington on occasion to see his new friends, those that he was close with, those that accepted and trusted him, those that forgave him. Maybe somebody would come with him. Maybe he'd adventure with Vitruvius somewhere. Maybe they'd find somewhere super distant. Maybe they'd look nearby. But yeah, I think in general, Calvin would not be the type to set down roots very easily, because he only knew one place for so long. There are two ways you can respond to that kind of experience, right? And it's like, in anything that you experience in your formative years, just as a big part of human psychology, you respond in one of two ways usually. There are secret third and fourth options, depending on the context, of course, but depending on what you were modeled with as a kid, you either reflect what you were modeled with, like you do exactly what you experienced and you seek what you experienced again in adulthood, or you reject it and you do the opposite. So in Calvin's position, somebody in his experience where they spent their entire life up into young adulthood in a tiny area, no bigger than this, boxed into a place not so different than the ruins he moved into. Some people would have that experience and then they would try to find something as close to it as possible and stay there forever. And maybe there's a part of him that wants that. And there is a part of him that, you know, even though he claims that he's not attached to these ruins, he does feel some attachment to them. They remind him of his childhood home. This is where he spent time with his first friends. So it does have some place in his heart, but I think he also, more like importantly to his personality, is the type to seek the opposite in most things for what he was modeled with as a kid. I think he is the type where he will actually oppose it and travel from place to place, stay temporarily, not stay for long. Multiple places within a single year, even. Always on the move, because he's always looking. And even if he ends up giving up the search someday, I'm not sure if he would. Or I am sure, but I won't tell you if he would. Regardless, I feel like he would have it just as a part of his character, part of his personality, that he would not stay in one spot for very long. I think it would bring him a sense of comfort to not be locked into one spot and to not be locked into one group of people either. I think as precious as the bonds he formed with the people of New Witchington were, I think it would also be very important for him to find new people. I think he would need to find new groups to meet and to form connections with. He needs... I think it's very important that he gets an opportunity to try again from scratch with people. There are those among the people of New Witchington that never gave up on him, and that will be like... I keep almost saying as a family, but they would be like a family to him forever, probably. But I think it's very important that he meets people with the experience that he learned, like, you know, the things that he learned through his experience in New Witchington. I think it's important that he gets a chance to try from scratch with people with that perspective. Yeah, I would really call it Act 1 of his story. And we will probably never ever continue it in any context. It's for you to imagine what happens for the rest of his life, and you're free to express whatever you imagine. You could write about it, you could draw things for it. It's all cool. I like leaving it open like that because it means that you can imagine whatever ending you think he deserves. And he's really at the beginning of his life, and it was his first big experience meeting people. And it did not go very well, but it generally doesn't, right? I think most people, when they first get into meeting people, they make mistakes. They say things that are rude. They hurt people without meaning to. The difference is that we usually will make these mistakes when we're 4, 5, 6 years old. He had a different experience, unfortunately. So it's a very good thing that he had people among the people of New Witchington that he could enjoy spending time with, and that trusted him, and that supported him, and all that. But I think he also still needs a chance with people that he did not betray and that he doesn't have any complicated feelings with, is what I'll say. And yeah, he travels very, very quickly. As a fully fledged Ethermancer, he can be anywhere in the world and back very quickly. So distance does not mean very much. Physical distance, at least. He can come back anytime. Yeah, that's what I imagine for him. I imagine so many different... I've imagined so many alternate universe scenarios, too. Like, for post-VCraft. I've imagined a scenario where, like, a magic school is built, and he participates in teaching magic to people. I've imagined a scenario where they expand New Witchington into an entirely new area. Like, they do new frontiers. Maybe they explore another dimension and try to settle there. I've imagined an alternate universe where New Witchington fractures in half, and we get, like, New Witchington, and then the two sides are battling each other. I've imagined so many different alternate universes, and I think having it be open to that is the most fun situation, rather than having a definitive 100% this happened. You didn't see it, but I promise it happened. Answer. That's how I feel. Yeah, we've accomplished our goal today. I'm trying to think of if I want to do another build. Because I mentioned earlier, I kind of want to build like a tavern for By the Beat. I'm down to keep going. Maybe. There'd be no more VCraft, though. Are you prepared to stop talking about VCraft? Should we like save it for another day, maybe? I wanna kind of build a tavern for them. I want to build a tavern for them to live in, or like work in. Them being like the alternate universe version of my coworkers. My fellow members of the live house. By the Wheat. Oh, if it's gonna be By the Wheat, we have to do it another day. Yeah, I think I kind of wanna save it for another day, actually. I want to really get into it, and I kind of want to draw stuff for it too. If we do that, I want to make them more fantasy designs, because I did a really quick rough design of each of us in a fantasy setting, but I want to do more at some point. Yeah, I think we can do it another day. I really like this game. I'm glad we tried this today. I'm glad we had even if it was about VCraft, and even if I've set out to not talk about VCraft anymore, I'm glad that we had this little misadventure. Because I actually planned this stream like a month or two ago. I was going to do this in a week or two after VCraft, and then I got sick or something. And I wasn't ever able to make Bythe Beata like I planned to. We did it today on impulse, because I didn't schedule anything today. Yeah, no more. Okay, here's my new goal. No more VCraft mentions for the rest of December. No more. My new record is gonna be 27 at least, or 28. Sorry, quick math. I forget sometimes that December is 31 instead of 30. No more VCraft mentions for the rest of December. We get to January, then we can talk. We made the whole stream about it today, so we have to do a hard detox. We can't talk about it anymore. We cannot keep this going. So pretty. Wait, hold on. I just noticed that, like, it changes the loading screen, right? Like the main menu. So you can actually kind of see it there. That's so cute. Yeah, we got a detox. No more VCraft mentions. None. And as my first step in that direction, I'll be getting out of costume. Don't look. Look the other way, please. Look the other way, please. Okay. Oh wait, my hair is still messed up. Look the other way. I need to go comb my hair. Okay. Oh, I still missed some. Sorry about that. I think it's over here. Yes. Okay. Sorry, part of his character is that he has really messy, unkept hair. So in order to keep that immersion, I always mess my hair up whenever I put that tunic on. It's kind of cute though, cosplaying midstream. Bring him back. No, he's gone forever. Ha ha. Sorry, that was a little mean. I can almost hear his voice. No, you hear my voice. He's different. He's different from me, okay? We're not the same. It's a different guy, all right? Let's be reasonable now. Thank you for streaming today. Thank you for hanging out with me. Oh my gosh, I'm glad you enjoyed. So that last month, listen, it was a really special experience. I just can't stop thinking about it. And there was like the 2-month anniversary for it recently, and then there was that fan server that ended recently, so people are emotional about VCraft again on Twitter. So every time I open Twitter, I see people talking about VCraft, and it makes me think about VCraft. And if I'm reminded about VCraft even for just 2 seconds, I think about it for at least 30 minutes later on when I'm left alone. So I just have a lot of things to say about it, and in general, because it's always fresh in my mind, because I'm constantly reminded about it, it's like everything is a reference to it, to me. I can always make a funny joke about it, or be like, oh, this is just like the time he said this, or this is just like the time that this happened in New Wichington. I just can't help it. I just can't. We'll get over it eventually. Maybe when we have a sequel. Then I'll be talking about that. But I just think it's really nice. I just thought it was really nice. 2 months isn't that long. I think it's an incredibly long time for something like this. I don't know. We should have moved on by now. I don't know what's happened to me. I'm kind of cooked, low-key. Here, let me show you the photos. Actually, do you want to do it on the other screen? Yeah, we'll do it on the home screen. I'll let you keep hearing the Tiny Glade BGM though. We can have that for our BGM for the rest of the stream. Okay, let me see. Where do I find these photos? I'll get them full screen for you. Ah, okay. I think I found it. I'm gonna see if I can set up a slideshow really quick. Let's see. Oh, it puts a little logo on the pictures. I didn't know that. Is there a way to turn that off? I may go back and take more pictures later. The logo's cute, but I would have taken the pictures at a different angle if I knew it put like a logo in there. All right. All right, you ready? Yo, ready for this? Okay, how do I do it? Like this. Ah, we got the slideshow. I don't know if I set it up right. These might be on the screen for way too long, but okay, yeah, that's about right. Feel free to take your screenshots if you'd like. Free screenshots if you want them. I did not know it would put the game's logo in there. Sorry if that breaks your immersion. I would have taken them at a different angle if I knew, so that it complemented the logo. I did not realize they put the logo in there. Justified though, because it's such a cute game. You got to know where the build came from. Okay, the slide transition time is way too slow. Let's make it half of that. Is it sliding? Is the show sliding? Yeah, okay. The show is in fact sliding now. I get a little confused sometimes is all. Is the show sliding? The show is not sliding. All right, we're doing it manual. No, we're not. Oh, there it goes. Okay. What? Oh, okay, hold on. We're just gonna make it super fast. All right, your transition time is now 3 seconds. All right, there we go. You got to get your screenshots real fast now. I hope. I don't know how this works. I don't use the slideshow feature very often. Sorry, I'm not 100% familiar with my tech. Okay, now we're speeding along. Now we're going. All right, this is much more reasonable. These were our builds for the day. You're free to use these however you want. Of course, please be sure to look into and respect any of the imaging use for Tiny Glade. I'm not sure if they have any special terms of use, but I imagine you should not be using these for anything commercial. That should go without saying. Be careful. Don't be disrespectful. They work so hard to make this game and update it, so don't do anything out of line. Please show the devs some respect. You know, be cool. All right, I think that covers all of them, right? We've been through. I'll give you one more lap around. Get to the end, and then okay, we can. I think we can do it now. Yeah, okay. Awesome. Sugoi. All right, I've just about heard enough of this BGM too. Let's wrap. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I had a lot of fun. I'm gonna play this game again in the future. Let's do more builds. Let's build By the Beat RPG Fantasy Edition. Let's build a little house for an imaginary debonair to live in. Like if debonairs were real in a world where debonairs live, I could make a little village for them to live in, maybe. Like the little monkey. Not you, but the monkey. Little creature. Yeah. Buy the wheat? Maybe, but I can't do wheat. If they drop a wheat update, oh my gosh. Could you imagine if Tiny Glade... Sorry, I keep getting hiccups lately. Could you imagine if Tiny Glade added like a crop update? Could you imagine if they added like farming? Not farming as in like gameplay, but like making a farm, making a field. Am I saying you're not real? No, I'm saying you, the human, are different from the monkey. You're free to identify as the monkey if you'd like to, but that's not what it is in my brain. I'm referring to the little monkey mascot that is not real, rather than you, the real human person. You know what I mean? I don't know if that's confusing, because I understand with a lot of people, their fan mascot is like, that's you. That's you in the flesh. That's what you look like to me. That's how a lot of people are, but it's always been different to me. Like, I can represent you with it, I guess, but I don't know. To me, you're a person. You're like, I see a human. I see a breathing person. For me, in my mind, the mascot is more like our mascot rather than one that is just you. But that's just me. That's just how I feel about it. It's kind of like, I'm trying to think of a good example. I think there are anime out there where they have like a little mascot creature that travels with them. It's like it kind of represents the party as a whole, depending on the context. That's how I kind of imagine it. I think of it as a mascot to represent us and to like, I don't know, just be used to reference the times that we shared, but they are not real, unfortunately. It would be very cool if I had some tiny little monkeys that resembled eggs, but no, they are not real. They are just a fun little imaginary creation, courtesy of my epic mama. Yeah, right. It would be kind of cool as like a travel companion. Yeah, I personally see it differently. To me, it is our mascot. YouTube recap. I mentioned it at the start of the stream, but it is By the Beat and Yuki Wilson and Vanta Growbringer, but I won't say exactly the order. Other than Sable is number 1 and I am in his I'm his top 0.3% viewers. Like most active on YouTube. Oops. Now what I'm curious about is like number 6 onward. For example, I almost got all of Crisis in there, and I wonder how high Zally is, but it only gives you the top 5. Yeah, it only gives you the top 5. I'm curious about my top 10. That's what I'm more interested in. Because it was no question that By the Beat would be there, right? And that's 3 slots taken up. Breaking your immersion. What? Are you trying to be immersed in the fantasy of being a monkey? Hey, if you want to roleplay as a monkey, that's your prerogative, but that's not my game here. That's not the game that I'm playing. Yeah, no, to me, you are a person, and the monkey is our monkey. It's not real. But hey, if that's how you have fun, pretending to be a monkey, I get it. I wish I could be a monkey. Hey, I get it. You know what? Maybe just to give you the treatment that I wish I could have, you can be a monkey now. See, I just don't like it. It feels dehumanizing. It's just not my vibe. I just think being a person is so awesome. Why don't you want to be a person? I just don't get it. Can't you just be like a person that represents the monkey? See, for me, in my mind, it's kind of like, ooh, okay, I found a good way to explain what the Debonair mascot is for me. And how I imagine it, and how I imagine the way we interact with it. You know those Animal Crossing villagers that are Sanrio fans? The Sanrio mascot fans from Animal Crossing? You know how there are like 4 or 5 villagers who wear a bunch of merchandise of those mascots because they really like them? They are not those mascots, right? For example, Rilla is one of my favorites from that batch. Rilla, she loves Hello Kitty, but she's a gorilla, right? She's not a cat. She's not a little white cat. She's not a little baby white, like a white little cat girl or whatever. but she loves Hello Kitty so much. And so she wears clothes that is styled around Hello Kitty, and she has all of these Hello Kitty things in her space, and that's what I imagine it's like. I imagine it like that. It's like an idea. You know what I mean? But that's just me. That's just me. Okay, I gotta get out of here. I gotta rest my voice. I gotta be careful. I want to do some crazy fun stuff next week, and I gotta be extra careful that I have what it takes to get through the week, because my stamina in general right now is still really low compared to what it used to be. Used to be that I could go for like 6-7 hours with no problem at all, but I guess I'm still recovering. I'm putting in the work though to make sure my remedies are on lock and that I'm getting the rest I need. So I'll be careful about it. Please don't worry. Oh my god. I'm just speaking and you contort and taint my words with your dark language. You sicko. You sick nasty freak. You demented pervert. You monster. This is what you do. This is what... Again, I just can't speak. I just say a normal thing, and suddenly, now I'm the bad guy. Because of the way you took it, you sicko. I did not make a reference. I was just talking. You made the reference. Don't blame me. I'm just using numbers. These numbers have existed since before I was born. They predate all of us. I'm just using them. Oh my god. Say it like you said something bad, because you did. That's a bad number. We don't use that number around here. Don't make me tap the sign. Okay, I need to get out of here. I need to get out of here. I still cannot show you my schedule for the rest of the week, but I will tell you what I know for sure. I'm planning Animal Crossing tomorrow, 7 p.m. Animal Crossing tomorrow, 7 p.m. Thursday, 7 p.m. EST. So that would be, what? Friday, 9 a.m. JST. Friday, EST. I think I might actually have a collab. I still don't have all the details locked in. So no promises, but I think I do. I'm like 98% sure. So I'll lock that in and let you know about that. Either way, I think I might do a short solo stream before, even if I do. I might not though, no promises. I want to try and make up for the fact that I had to take Monday and Tuesday off in a row. I just had a lot of work and I still haven't finished it all. I have to get right back to work when this is over. Yeah, collab Friday, probably. Saturday, Stardew Valley. We have to play Stardew Valley. We have to finish fall. We haven't even started fall. We have to make progress in fall. It's basically winter already. It's not technically winter for another 2 weeks. Honestly, closer to 3 weeks, but yeah, Stardew Valley Saturday. We're going to make some progress in fall. It was supposed to be last week, but I had a really bad tech issue that I wasn't able to fix, so I ended up giving up because I didn't want to keep you waiting, just in case I wasn't able to figure it out. I've just had a rough luck recently. I don't know what's going on. Anyway. Stardew Valley, 7 p.m. EST, Saturday. Sunday, I want to see about doing another Zelda, but I will only know for sure when we hit like Friday, Saturday, what I can handle, because Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, I'm planning to celebrate 200K. Yippee! I'll give you a proper itinerary soon. I'll give you a proper itinerary when I can. But yeah. That is when we will celebrate. I'm doing my best to make it as cool as I can. Unfortunately, I'm still plagued by a lot of the things that prevented me from doing cool, crazy stuff for my birthday. I'm still struggling, for example, in the stamina department, so I have to really pace myself and spread it apart, make it shorter, but I can do a little bit more than I could then, so I'm gonna do my best. I got a couple fun surprises as well. Don't push yourself. Thank you. I'll be careful. Yeah, any time that we can spend together is enough for me, which is why I'm willing to take my time and rest when I need to, but I don't know. I do want to show you a special time. I want to show you a special kind of fun rather than just the usual fun. Even if the usual fun is always enough for me. You know what I mean? So I'll do my best. But I won't push myself too hard. I won't go so crazy that I have to take the entire next week off as a punishment. It'll be fun though, I think. I'll do my best. Yeah, I'll let you know more about that and what the timing and scheduling will look like closer to next week. And I'll try my best to actually have the schedule done and exported before then. As for this week's schedule, I know I've just given it to you, but I'll try to upload it soon. I'll try to finish that tonight. Maybe ahead of the other things I have to get done. Like I said earlier, a good way to know how I'm faring on the work front is just whether I have a schedule uploaded before Wednesday. If I have it uploaded on Sunday, I'm chilling like a villain. Easy breezy, beautiful life. I've got such an ideal work-life balance. When I hit like Tuesday, Wednesday with no schedule, I'm grinding. I'm in the mines. And I don't mean craft. It's a good place to be though. I'm exactly where I want to be. Do not try and save me. Like, I really, really love the work that I do, so. And even the other stuff that's been taking me away recently, a lot of like housework related stuff, household stuff, in-person related things, like separate from my job. Even that stuff, even if I don't love it per se, I still enjoy it, you know? I find it cathartic to clean things and to organize things, so. Yeah, I'll see you again soon, okay? As for your next stop, if you'd like to continue watching somebody live, let's see. I'm gonna send you to. Who can I send you to? Who can I send you to? Who can I send you to? Zielginjoka is pulling for. Okay. Friador is playing. Friador is playing Elden Ring Night Rain. They just dropped the DLC, and and yeah, Frio and I assume Vanta is probably also playing. Maybe they usually collab. I'm not sure if they're collabing today, but Frio's playing Elden Ring Night Rain. Please go show him some love if you'd like to watch more stream. It's been a minute since I've been able to redirect into Frio. Our overlap is not as often, so yeah, I'm gonna send you to Frio today. There's just no other choice. I've got nobody else to choose from. Oh man. But yeah, as always, please be extra nice and respectful. Please be sure to read his rules and follow them if you choose to participate in the redirect. Be nice. Do not go in there talking about VCraft or me or anything that we did here today. Even if he asks, just keep it brief. You know, get invested in Elden Ring. They've been really looking forward to this DLC. I don't personally play the game. I played it a couple times, but so it's not. I don't have the full perspective, but I know that they've all been very excited about it. The people that play actively, so do try and share in that excitement with them. Okay, it's really nice to be excited about something with somebody, even if you aren't personally as invested. It's something I really like, actually. But yeah, I'm gonna send you there. Either way, whether you choose to participate in the redirect or not, I hope that you get some good rest. All right, be sure to relax when you can. Don't push yourself too hard. Take some time to maybe nap, even if you can fit in the time, or even just lay down for a bit. It's nice to lay your head back on a nice pillow. Get some good food. Make sure you're eating right. Getting a good mix of nourishing things. You need some protein, some carbs, lipids. You need all those things. Colorful plate, right? And stay safe, all right? Be safe till I see you again. I will see you again tomorrow. Should be tomorrow, 7 p.m. Animal Crossing. I'll see you soon, okay? Till next time. Bye-bye. What was that? Oh, I know what that was. I remember that. That was when we had our speed run. I still got the timer on there. The 1 hour chatting speed run. Sorry. I fudged it. Let's try that again. Pretend that didn't happen, okay? Pretend that didn't happen. I'm using the light that they had in the one movie with the sunglasses guys. What movie is that? I'm erasing your memory. Till next time. Bye bye.